The rain in the sky has gone away, but Tom Sox baseball is here to stay. The Staunton Braves, the league's best team, make their first trip to Charlottesville in the year 2025. Hello all and welcome in to this broadcast here from CHO Airport Field at Charlottesville High School. Luke Stefanisco and Landon Weaver on the call tonight. And Landon, the Tom Sox certainly have their hands full with the Staunton Braves tonight.
They do indeed. The Staunton Braves are a team that can load up the bases quick. They scored 18 runs in 4 innings against Covington over the week, and they'll be looking to replicate some big batting tonight as we head into the anthem, and we'll go to a quick break.
Welcome back to this broadcast of the Charlottesville Tom Sox and the Staunton Braves, this Valley League contest here tonight. Certainly shaping up to be a good one. Landon, let's go over the lineups from both squads, starting off with the visitors, the Staunton Braves.
Yeah, starting off with the Braves, they have Lincoln Pack leading off for them, the senior of Pensacola State College. Second is Wyatt Pfeiffer out of James Madison University. He's a senior from Greentown, Pennsylvania. Next up is Aaron Jamison, the junior from University of South Carolina, previously from West Virginia. Next up is Wyatt Campbell in the 4-hole, batting as a senior out of Florida Southern College. Next up, the catcher, Ty Galuski from Eastern Tennessee State, previously at Fort Scott Community College. He's a junior. Next up is Zach Pashevsky out of Radford University. The sophomore had a pretty good campaign for the Big South squad. Next up is Ryan Fluharty, the USC Upstate junior, looking to bring in some runs today. After that, Cooper McDaniel finds himself in the 8-hole, the senior out of USC Beaufort. And last but not least, Jackson Ingram, batting in the 9-hole out of West Virginia. And pitching on the mound is their stud, Mason Tompkins from Winthrop.
Yeah, Mason Tompkins went 6 scoreless in his last start against Waynesboro. Is certain going to be a tough matchup tonight for the Tom Sox. But speaking of the Tom Sox, their lineup leading off and playing center field, the JMU Duke Kyle Langley. Out in left field for today will be, second base for today will be Hudson Luderman. Jackson Soroy manning shortstop and batting third. Patrick Neas in the cleanup spot playing first. Jeff Bristow back out in right batting fifth. Tanner Shadle, the DH spot today in the 6-hole. Gian DeCastro, the Arizona State lefty, batting seventh, playing third. Elijah Costin, the two-way man out of ECU, batting eighth and playing left. And Jesus Cesare behind the dish at the 9 spot for the Tom Sox. And on the mound will be the Pensacola State arm, Bradley Link, who maybe hasn't had the start to the season he wanted to, but a good chance to right the ship today as you see the Tom Sox take the field for this ball game. And Landon, what are some of the things the Tom Sox need to clean up in order to come out with the victory today against one of the league's best teams so far to start the year?
Well, we're going to see one of those things right away. It's their play from the mound. Bradley Link needs to start off strong for the Tom Sox. They need a few scoreless innings to get going. It seems that every game that the Tom Sox have played, they always find themselves down in a hole early. Contrary to that, they found themselves up early during the week, and then they walked 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 runners in a row and ended up losing that game 10-4.
Yeah, it was a rough loss for the Tom Sox on Wednesday night against Front Royal. The Sox looking to rebound here, and again, tough task as take a look at the league standings so far throughout the season, and it's not the best look for Charlottesville so far, currently in a near tie for second to last in the South Division, and Staunton ahead in the South Division, number 1, 5-1 on the year, with Charlottesville going 1-4. So we'll see how they can get after it tonight here against a formidable foe.
Yeah, and it's safe to say that the South Division of the Valley Baseball League is the weaker division. You see all but one team in the North Division above 500, with the below 500 team being the New Market Rebels, and on the contrary, the South only has 2 teams over 500, Staunton and Harrisonburg.
Well, Link finishing up his warm-up pitches. Cesare fires his warm-up throw down to second, and we are ready to get started with Lincoln Pack set to lead it off for the Braves.
So we've got a Pensacola State College pitcher facing off against a Pensacola State hitter.
What a way to start the ball game, Landon.
This is going to be a battle. You'd think that there's not any animosity between the two, but definitely some competitive rivalry.
Certainly some familiarity as Link in the windup, and we're off. First pitch, and nearly does hit Lincoln Pack, and you might be a little bit wrong with the animosity there, Landon, as that one nearly hit him.
Yeah, I'm going to eat my words real quick.
First pitch, 7:18 p.m. for the ball game. Link back in the windup with the 1-0 count. This time he just misses inside, and he'll fall behind 2-0. So Link now behind in the count, looking to cut back into it. This pitch, fastball, catches the zone for a strike, and 2-1 the count now.
Yeah, Bradley Link just needs to ease into the count. Although he was down 2-0, that's not a formidable foe.
2-1 offering, tapped foul, and the count will now be even at 2-2.
Link so far this season, 2 games, 1 start, an 0-1 record. 3 innings pitched, but an ERA of 21.00 with 7 earned runs going against him.
Yeah, not the finest start for Link, looking to rebound today. 2-2, breaking ball popped up, backing out of play. So Pack stays alive to see another pitch.
Pack is a big bat. He had the top batting average in his high school conference, and that carried on to Pensacola State, where he batted .331 in 39 games.
2-2 pitch, bends in the strike zone, and a call. It's strike 3. Bradley Link starts his outing off, catching Pack looking.
Exactly what we were talking about there, Luke. We need some good pitching here from the Tom Sox, and Bradley Link going 1 for 1 with strikeouts.
So now it'll be Wyatt Pfeiffer, the James Madison Duke, at the dish for Braves. The lefty digs in here. Link working out of the windup. First pitch off the outside. Cesare can't pull it back in, and that'll be called a ball. Pfeiffer on the year, batting .391, 8 RBIs, and a homer. The next pitch misses again outside, so Link once again behind 2-0 in the count.
This is a guy who is very, very familiar with the home plate. He has played a ton of games for the Dukes of James Madison, 61 games in his second year, 55 games in the most recent year.
2-0 pitch, also down low, so Link now, moment to shake off some sweat or some dust at the mask, and he'll get back behind the plate.
And he averages just about a hit per start in his college career.
3-0 pitch, misses outside, and Link walks Pfeiffer, so Braves will get a base runner here with 1 down. Now due up for Staunton will be the designated hitter, Aaron Jamison. Jamison batting .231 on the year so far, 2 RBIs, 3 hits, 7 runs scored, 7 walks, and 5 strikeouts. A lot of 7s in his line so far this season. First pitch from Link. When misses outside, Cesare can't grab it, and Pfeiffer's just going to trot onto second base, and he'll have it easily and put himself in scoring position.
That's another thing that the Tom Sox have struggled with this season is the pitcher-to-catcher relationship. We've seen a lot of balls go wild, a lot of balls hitting the backstop, and we just saw another one there.
So the 1-0 pitch swung on and missed. Link gets Pfeiffer to swing through the, Jamison to swing through the fastball, and Knots the count up at 1-1. Link checks the runner at second. Now comes to the plate. Gets another swinging miss. That one up high. Jamison took a big hack at it, couldn't connect, and now he's behind 1-2.
Good recovery here from Link after the wild pitch.
Link. Quick look to Pfeiffer at second. Pfeiffer goes. His pitch outside. Cesare won't throw, and Pfeiffer steals the bag and has worked his way around the bases all by himself.
Yeah, that's quick thinking there from Pfeiffer to see the opening and be on his feet right away.
So now Pfeiffer finds himself 90 feet away from scoring. Jamison an RBI opportunity here if he puts the ball in play. 2-2 pitch from Link. That one missed down low, so the count runs full. Link taking his time on the mound. Jamison digs back in, the lefty, with a good chance here on a 3-2 count. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Bradley Link gets Jamison to swing through it, his second strikeout of the game, and now anything in play may not end up in a run for Staunton.
That's a big, big at-bat for Bradley Link to get his second strikeout of the game. Although a runner did get to third, like you said, an out would end the inning.
So now batting for the Braves will be Wyatt Campbell, University of South Carolina. And, Florida Southern. Correct on that. First pitch from Link. Campbell, that one dropped in there for a strike.
And Wyatt Campbell is from Ocala, Florida, the horse capital of the world, Luke. Home to the largest equestrian complex in the United States.
I love the tidbits you put into these notes, Landon. They're always great. I had a good time listening to it last week because this one is popped up sky high, back towards the backstop. Cesare drops the mask, but it gets out of play. So Campbell now behind 0-2, and Link a pitch away from getting out of the first.
And 1,200 plus horse farms. That is a lot of horse farms to fit into one small town. You think he rode horses when he was a kid?
It's a good chance. Coming from Ocala, you never know. Link now ready here in the 0-2 count. Here's the pitch. That one tapped back right towards us off the screen.
Link has worked this count very well. Campbell definitely feeling like he has to get something here.
Campbell seemed to be in protect mode there on that pitch, so Link might look to put him away here. Link ready. The next pitch. Swing and a miss. Goes with the breaking ball and gets the strikeout. 3 strikeouts in the first for Bradley Link, and a good start to this ball game. We'll take a break and be back with the bottom half of the first inning here from CHO Airport Field. Welcome back to this broadcast of Staunton and Charlottesville doing battle in the VBL, and Mason Tompkins on the bump now for the Braves. And Landon, I'll give you a chance to talk a little bit more at length about Mason Tompkins, as he had a very impressive start in his last outing against Waynesboro.
Yeah, you talk about a guy that you do not want to face, and the Tom Sox certainly don't want to face Tompkins. Look, at Winthrop last season, he played in 11 games, started 2 of them, went 2-0, over 23 innings pitched in a 4.30 ERA with 20 strikeouts to only 10 walks, 11 earned runs, and a batting average against of 225. That is an absurd stat line, and it carries over. In his 1 game and 1 start here with the Braves, he went 1-0, 6 innings pitched, and guess how many runs he had? A bagel, 0, with 3 strikeouts and 1 walk. Luke, talk about seeing some great pitchers in this league. This is one of them, and it's going to be eye candy.
Certainly not one of the guys you want to face when you're a struggling team like Charlottesville has been early on in the season, but maybe this is a game where they'll find some momentum to rally together and string some hits together off a good arm. But it all starts with the man in the leadoff spot, Kyle Langley. James Madison stepping into the box here, the lefty on the year, batting 22 this season so far, out of the leadoff spot. First pitch from Tompkins, and that one drops in a little below the zone, so Langley takes it for a ball.
We know he's capable of a home run, hit one down the first base line earlier this season.
Next pitch from Tompkins, swing and a miss. Langley offered up the pitch on the outside, couldn't connect, and the count knots up at 1-1. Langley back in, the next pitch from Tompkins. That one down low and call the ball once again. So Langley moves ahead 2-1. I think the key here for Charlottesville is to try and get ahead in these counts against Tompkins.
Absolutely.
Tompkins gets the sign, ready with the next pitch. Langley grounds that one to second. Pacheski up with it, fires on to Campbell at first, and that one in time. So Langley goes 4-3 on the putout and one down for Tompkins here in the first.
One thing that we'll expect to see, or not expect to see from Tompkins, is a changeup. He hardly uses changeups against righties at all. He also rarely throws sliders to lefties, and to righties he throws about 60% fastball, and then between the sinker and the four seam. So we'll have to see what he brings up here with Luderman at bat.
Well, first pitch to Luderman, a breaking ball that misses above the zone. Tompkins wearing sports glasses, I guess you could call them, and had to readjust them there after that pitch. So Luderman ahead 1-0 here. Tompkins ready. Next pitch, that one down low and a little inside, so Luderman ahead 2-0 in the count. Luderman had the first home run of the Tom Sox season against Woodstock, a wall scraper into left. Here's the next pitch, and he takes a strike called. So now 2-1 the count.
Appeared in 42 games for the Hokies, including 22 RBIs and 4 home runs. Really picked it up towards the end of the season.
As he pops that one up just past second base spot. Pacheski there, and he makes the catch. So 2 down now for the Tom Sox, and Jackson Soroy will step in.
The hometown kid, Jackson Soroy, has played and started in 4 games this season with a batting average of .278, including 1 RBI and 5 times he's hit the ball.
First pitch from Tompkins nearly gets Soroy, has to do a little dancing out of the way, and it'll be a 1-0 count. Tompkins once again. This time just misses the outside corner. Solid spot there, but didn't get the call.
Soroy, like Luderman, ahead in the count early.
Tompkins ready to work with the next offering. Soroy takes that one, called strike at the top of the zone. So 2-1 now to Jackson Soroy. As Tompkins delivers. This one's a ground ball to short. Gloved out there by Ingram, fires across over to Campbell, and that one in time. And the Tom Sox go 1-2-3 here in the first. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left for Charlottesville. We'll be back with the top of the second here from CHO Airport Field. After a scoreless first inning from both sides, the Braves will get a second chance to put some runs on the board here in the second with Bradley Link still toeing the slab for the Tom Sox. What'd you think of that first inning, Lane? Did you see anything different from what the Sox have done in the past few games? And I think certainly something to talk about with Bradley Link getting 3 strikeouts in the first inning.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Link getting strikeouts is a big thing for the Tom Sox. We haven't seen a lot of those in the first inning or as fast as they came. We've seen a lot of bases by balls, runners getting to second and third because of more walks and stealing bases, which we saw one of the Braves runners do. But luckily, Link was able to tap into that clutch gene and send the inning to the bottom.
Well, now Ty Galuski has had a torrent start to the season for the Braves, batting .545 in his first 3 games. First pitch from Link to Galuski. That one misses off the outside edge, so Galuski will take the advantage 1-0.
He really is a great comeback story, Luke. He suffered a torn UCL prior to his sophomore season of high school, and that really is a killer for a lot of players as that one's sent into deep right field.
And he loops that one down the line. Bristow comes up with it on the track, and he'll manage to hold Galuski to just a single, but first hit of the ball game for the Braves goes to Ty Galuski.
Just as we were harping on Bradley Link's ability to strike players out, Galuski able to get his bat to the ball and put it into a spot where it's hard to get to.
Now Zach Pacheski at the plate for Staunton. Pacheski played 5 games so far for the Braves. First pitch from Link. Pacheski thought about swinging. They'll appeal down to first, and they'll say he held.
Cesare almost lost that ball again. Was able to stop it.
So Link behind 1-0. They'll deliver. That one just missed the outside. Cesare tried to frame it, but didn't get any budge from the home plate umpire. Here's the next pitch from Bradley Link. Swing and a miss. Link gets a swinging strike there.
Looking at Pacheski's college stats, one thing you can really tell is that he is a swinger. 13 strikeouts to 2 walks throughout his season with Radford in 15 games. Not a great ratio for the sophomore.
Here's the next pitch, and another swinging strike there. That'll be a strikeout for Bradley Link. So Pacheski down on strikes, and Link gets his 4th of the ball game.
Number 17 from USC Upstate, Ryan Flaharty.
Now it's Ryan Flaharty.
Keep rolling, Link, keep rolling.
Flaharty, 333 on the year in the VBL. First pitch gets by Cesare, and Galuski's going to be there at second standing. So maybe another passed ball for Tom Sox has bitten them this season so far.
Staunton, a big South team, really. There are a lot of Radford guys, a couple of Longwood players, and some USC Upstate guys. It's cool to see some inter-conference camaraderie here.
So the 1-0 offering from Link. That one clips the zone for a strike. Count tied up at 1-1 now. Flaharty tied for second in the league this season with 2 homers. Here's the next pitch. That one misses down low. Cesare almost bobbled it, trying to flip back up into his hand, but he'll hold on, and no hurt from that.
He's really had a bit of a surprising start with Staunton after not being able to get his bat to any balls in his career at USC Upstate. Granted, he only played 6 games.
Here's the next pitch. Outside, and Cesare has to snag it out of the dirt. Clouds flying overhead, but hopefully the rain out of the forecast for the rest of the night. Link ready on the slab. Pickoff move back to second. Luderman won't apply the tag. Just making a conscious effort to let Ty Galuski know that he's thinking about him. Link back from the stretch. The 3-1. Inside, ball 4. So now 2 base runners for the Braves here in the top of the second.
Batting for Staunton, center fielder.
Still been a good inning from Link. Although there are runners on first and second, he still has a K to his name.
Link now ready. Checks both the runners. And now ready with the first pitch. That one bends out of the strike zone. So Link,
Sorry, go ahead.
Link behind 1-0.
This brings up Cooper McDaniel, who holds the high school all-time record with Little Rock Catholic, 7 home runs in his career there.
Here's the next pitch to McDaniel, and that one's grounded foul and off the screen. So 1-1 now, the count equivalency.
McDaniel, also the ROTC national champion in physical fitness at Little Rock Catholic. He is a very well-rounded guy.
So 1-1 now from Link. That one misses low. Link trying to work out of the jam here. Runners on first and second. 1 out here in the top of the second. Here's the next pitch. Check swing. I'll say he didn't go.
Link really needs to get back into a groove here. He's 1 ball away from loading the bases up.
So 3-1 now. Link needs to find the zone. Here's the offering. That one's lined back towards right field. Bristow going back on the track, makes the catch. Galuski tags from second. He'll be there standing at third. So now runners on the corners with 2 down for Staunton.
Good catch there from Bristow. Thought for a second it was going to catch the wall because that is a short one, just 290 to right field. Bringing up the bottom of the order now with Jackson Ingram. Did not play in the 2025 season, although he is on the West Virginia team. They're currently in the Super Regionals, first game in Baton Rouge tomorrow.
Ingram on the year, 174 average, 4 hits, and a home run. First pitch from Link finds the strike zone.
Really, really big confidence booster there for Link.
Looking to evade any hurt here in the top of the second. Link still working out of the stretch. The next pitch catches the outside corner once again, so he's ahead 0-2.
Exactly where you want to be as a pitcher. As Cesario starts throwing some signs over to Link.
Fluharty possibly could be in motion on this pitch. Maybe the Sox will put on a play if Fluharty decides to go. Fluharty doesn't go. Pitch from Link. Called! Strike 3 on the inside. Breaking ball buckles the knees of Ingram, and Link gets out of the jam. We'll head to the bottom of the second, and we'll see the Tom Sox get to the plate once again here from Charlottesville. Well, with Patrick Nias due up for the Tom Sox, a soft rain begins to fall on the field. Hopefully it will not evolve into something worse, but something to keep an eye on for this ball game and how it could affect it as Tompkins continues his warm-up pitches.
Yeah, something you don't like to see. And then you see Randy Tomlin going over to talk to the umpires, maybe to be like, hey, what's the course of action here?
Interesting to see how this one goes as Mason Tompkins looking looks to fire his final warm-up pitch.
And it is a steady drizzle, not pouring, but here goes Tompkins over to the Braves dugout. Or, no, the other umpire. My apologies.
Intriguing to see what will happen here. We had some rain earlier on today. The field kept in remarkably good shape by the Tom Sox staff, considering the rainfall that fell in the Charlottesville area. Nias steps into the box, and Nias has been one of the best hitters for the Sox on the year. After a rough start in Game 1, bounced back nicely in the past couple games. 333 in the 4 games. Here's the first pitch to him, and he swings through it for strike 1. Tompkins gets ahead in the count here. He'll deliver the 0-1 pitch. That one misses.
Yeah, as you mentioned, 4 strikeouts in his first game as a Tom Sox, but since then only 2 in 3 games. He's really been able to get a better eye for the ball in the batter's box.
Here's the next pitch from Tompkins. That one clips the inside corner for a strike, so Nias going to have to protect here in a 1-2 count.
Rain continuing to fall here in Charlottesville, but the umpires say play on.
1-2 pitch sweeps outside the zone, so that'll even it up at 2-2. You can hear the rain pitter-patting off the top of the press box that we currently sit in. As here's the 2-2 offering. That one tapped foul down the third base line. Solid crowd on hand tonight. Definitely more than expected after the storms that the area went through earlier on today. A lot of fans still making the trip to CHO Airport Field. Here's the 2-2 once more. This one chopped down the third base line. Nias grinding down the line. The throw from Pfeiffer over to Campbell in time.
Good play there from Pfeiffer. Able to pick it up on the run and still get it over to Campbell.
So now with one down, Jet Bristow steps into the box. Bristow, one of the youngest members of the Tom Sox roster on the year, incoming freshman at the University of Virginia. He's been effective for the Sox so far in the year in 4 games. Started 2 of them, batting .300. Had the lone RBI in the first game against Harrisonburg. He's only struck out once so far this season.
He'll look to continue his sweet hitting here as we get some new balls here for Mr. Mason Tompkins.
Tompkins gets some fresh baseballs. Bristow scrapes the dirt with his bat and steps into the batter's box, and we are set to resume. Tompkins working fast. Here's the pitch. That one down low for a ball, and Bristow spits on it.
Working that bat one time, 2-1.
Tompkins working again. The 1-0 offering. It's popped up down the right field line in foul territory. Campbell gives it a look, but he'll run out of room.
Hits off of the batting cage, but he really did have a close chance at getting to that one.
So a long strike there for Jet Bristow. Tompkins will go back to work from the mound. 1-1 count here in the bottom of the second with 1 down. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball got Bristow to swing through it. So now Bristow finds himself behind 1-2.
Pays to be greedy sometimes. He's got to get his bat on the ball here.
Bristow watches that one down low for a ball, so the count will knot itself up at 2-2.
Keep working.
Even pitch from Tompkins is a hard ground ball to short. Gloved over there by Ingram. He'll fire over to Campbell at first, and 6-3 goes Jet Bristow on the putout. So 2 down now for the Sox in the inning, and that'll bring up Tanner Shadle, the DH.
The Tom Sox not able to put the ball into promising space here in the outfield yet. That's 4 putouts now and 1 flyout.
Shadle and Bristow, the 2 men to have hits in the Game 1 loss to Harrisonburg. First pitch to Shadle is a breaking ball that catches the zone for a strike. Shadle had a looping single over the head of the pitcher. Bristow had the RBI double later on in the ball game. Here's the next pitch from Tompkins. Breaking ball misses the outside edge.
Shadle, a big-time poker player. You know he likes to gamble at the table. He'll probably gamble here at home plate as well.
We'll see what Shadle will do. Will he take a shot here? Swings and misses. So now is a risky bet. Is he willing to go all in on this 1-2 count? Look back to the umpire. Tompkins in his motion. Here's the pitch. That one popped back out of play.
That foul ball was sponsored by First Heritage Mortgage.
See, maybe that was a check from Tanner Shadle there. Call that foul ball a check.
Just barely put his bat on it.
The 1-2 once more. Swing and a miss. Shadle goes all in but can't connect, and that retires the side. So the Sox go 1-2-3 in both the first and second innings. We'll take a break and be back with more baseball here from Charlottesville.
Sox, nothing.
Scoreless ball game still from CHO Airport Field here in Charlottesville. Both the Staunton Braves and the Charlottesville Tom Sox knotted up at 0, and some solid pitching performances from both guys on both squads so far, Landon.
Yeah, Bradley Link, 5 strikeouts thus far, and Mason Tompkins only a couple just one strikeout to his name, but he's been able to pitch in a way that's not let the Tom Sox hit it into promising areas on the field.
Yeah, 2 perfect innings from Mason Tompkins, and certainly the Tom Sox trying to find out what they can do to put the ball in play and find themselves on base, because they haven't had any success so far. As Bradley Link set for another inning, and something that's huge for the Tom Sox is getting some longevity out of their starters. They've had some problems with not many arms being available for games in the past few days, so good thing to have Link go a couple innings here and hopefully give the team some rest.
Yet again, you have the Pensacola State reunion at the mound and home plate. Lincoln Pack.
Well, Link won the first time. Let's see if Pack has a rebuttal. First pitch fouled back off the mask of Cesarian.
Good thing he's okay. That looked like it hurt, dude. A ball straight to the mask.
Link walking off the mound, make sure he's okay. Cesari flashing a big thumbs up. And as you know, Jesus, a very positive guy, so glad to see him okay. As set to resume here once more. Link working out of the windup. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one inside the Pack again, the second time now. Link's missed inside with a fastball.
I have a suspicion that there's a bit of problem down at Pensacola between these two with the amount of times that the ball's gone inside.
1-1 count. This one, a breaking ball, drops too low in the zone, so Pack moves ahead 2-1.
Right back on the horse, Link. Let's go, babe.
Link back in the windup. The 2-1 pitch is a ground ball, foul just over the Staunton dugout, and that one heads over towards Charlottesville High School.
Pack, a really good season at Pensacola State. 48 RBIs, 43 runs, 40 hits, including 11 homers and a .686 slugging percentage.
So the 2-2 pitch here from Bradley Link. That one misses down low and off of the blocker of Cesarian, and finds its way off the screen, so a lot of moving parts on that pitch.
All in all, it'll go down as a ball.
Yep. All that movement for a singular mark in a scorebook. Full count pitch from Link. It's a fly ball deep down the left field line, but way out of play.
That foul ball was sponsored by
Some young fans scrambling over to try and get themselves a sweet treat at the concession stand by returning that ball.
9821.
So they'll do the 3-2 once more. Pensacola State battle. Who will win round 2? Here's the pitch. Ground ball tapped foul into the Braves dugout once more. And they'll do it again a second time.
Do they really give you something free if you return a foul ball?
Yeah, you get a freeze pop, I believe.
Oh, man, I might have to go run out of the press box and grab one soon.
Yeah, oh. You know, we had this conversation with fellow intern Daniel Stein at Waynesboro. I know you weren't able to make it there, Landon, but he almost jumped out of his seat a couple times to get a foul ball. So
I don't blame him.
here's the 3-2 pitch from Link. That one also popped up out of play. There's your chance, Landon.
A little far away. Would have been quite the run.
Could have made it there in that short amount of time. Would have been very impressive.
All I need is for him to pop it just over home plate so I can make the grab outside of the press box.
Again, very, very impressive. Long at bat here from both guys. Link now ready, the 3-2. This one once again tapped foul, and they'll do it again.
Always love to see a good battle between the pitcher and the hitter, and this one's even better, coming that they both come from the same college.
10 pitches on the at-bat so far, something you'd expect to see in a MLB The Show ticker popping up as you're playing the game. The 11th pitch, off the outside corner, and Pack wins round 2. He works a walk.
So that's 1-1 in the Pack versus Link showdown today. We'll have to keep a score going.
Might not get many more opportunities, depending on how long Bradley Link will go and how long the coaching staff wants him to go.
A bit of inconsistency here from Link, after the first inning.
Now it's Wyatt Pfeiffer for the Braves, and Pfeiffer loops this one into left field. Costin camps under it, and he makes the catch. Pack retreats back to first, so one pitch, one out there for Bradley Link here in the top of the third.
Easy does it there from Elijah Costin.
The designated hitter number 18, Aaron Jamison.
Aaron Jamison now back at the dish, struck out, swinging back in the first inning. One of 3 batters to fall victim to the punch out in the first. Link ready, working out of the stretch. Pack goes, Cesare can't scoop it, and Pack will be there standing up.
That's his first stolen base of the season. And 52 pitches already for Bradley Link, running up that count here early.
The 11-pitch at-bat from Pack certainly didn't help his odds of staying in this ball game. Here's the next pitch. That one outside.
Trying to get Jamison to chase.
So 2-0 the count now to Jamison. A bit more content in this at-bat. Ahead in the count. Here's the next offering. That one now inside, so Link's missed outside, low, and now inside.
Bound to get one in the zone. He's got to hope that this is the one, as the count is 3-0.
Pack gets his lead off a second. Link checks him. Now comes to the plate. This one catches the outside half, so 3-1 the count, and Link finds the zone.
Jamison, his first career home run was a grand slam against Ohio State. Quite a way to get your first home run in college.
Big hack there from Jamison, just foul tips it back into the glove of Jesus Cesare. So now a full count. A big pitch coming here for Bradley Link. 3-2 delivery. There's a line drive into the gap in left center field. It'll drop down. Costin plays it on a hop. Pack is coming to the plate. And Soroy can't handle the throw from Costin, so Pack will score an RBI single for Aaron Jamison, and the Braves take the early lead here in the third.
Back for Staunton, first baseman number 14, Wyatt.
Yeah, not able to get his glove on the ball is Jackson Soroy there. Maybe that's in hand to a bit of the rain. The ball's a little slippery, your glove's a little slippery. Just not able to make, I wouldn't even call that a routine play, but at least a chance at it.
Well, as Wyatt Campbell steps in, and I have to say, it looked like Lincoln Pack blew through the stop sign there on that single. I felt like he was a little bit behind, and if Soroy had made that catch, would have been able to make an easy throw to the plate to get Pack out, but instead he can't handle the throw, and now the Braves lead 1-0. Next pitch to Campbell. Drops down low for a ball, so knotted up at 1-1.
Not only that, but you let a guy in Aaron Jamison on base who throughout his collegiate career so far is 24 of 26 on stolen bags.
Certainly an impressive number as Campbell takes a big hack at that pitch down low but can't come up with anything, so he's now behind 1-2. Link maybe looking to work a ground ball here, try and get out of the inning. Here's the 1-2 offering to Campbell. Campbell checks his swing. He'll say he did not go in the appeal to first.
Very, very close there to going in the full circle. Lucky that that was called safe.
Jamison takes his lead off of first. Campbell at the plate. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Ground ball looper on the right side, and 2-2 once more.
Yet another long at-bat here for Bradley Link. Pitch count well over 60 now.
There is some motion out in the Tom Sox bullpen. A couple guys just getting loose. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Inside, won't catch the zone, and now a full count. So we'll get who's warming up for the Tom Sox in a second. We'll have the conclusion to this at-bat.
Trevor Booten. Oh, Ethan Alwine.
3-2 pitch,
Evan
back
Alwine
off the fence.
warming up for the Tom Sox. The junior out of Florida International has not played yet for the Tom Sox.
So Campbell stays alive to do battle once more. Jamison still at first base. Nias will keep him close. Here's the 3-2 once again. Inside, ball 4. So now runners on first and second. As Ty Galuski will step to the plate.
And here comes
the catcher, number 10, Ty
Tom
Galuski.
Sox pitching coach out to the mound. This could be the end of Bradley Link's day.
Be Chris Glaze taking a trip out to the mound. We'll see if it's just a morale visit or if it's the conclusion of Bradley Link's day.
If it is the conclusion, he had a relatively positive day. 5 strikeouts through just over 2 innings pitched.
Something tells me this will not be the end of the day
No, it
for
will
Bradley
not.
Link as Chris Glaze departs the mound.
Glaze just there for morale. Typically, it's Randy Tomlin who will walk out if there needs to be a change. So Bradley Link stays alive.
So now a fresh count here. Ty Galuski, who singled back in the second. Galuski with the runner in scoring position. First pitch from Link. It's a ground ball to second. Luderman, Soroy, Nias. A 4-6-3 double play for the Tom Sox, and Bradley Link, one pitch after the mound visit from Chris Glaze, gets out of the inning. The Tom Sox trail, however, 1-0. We'll head to the bottom of the third here from CHO Airport Field.
The score now is Staunton 1.
welcome back to this broadcast of the Charlottesville Tom Sox and the Staunton Braves. The Braves hold the lead after the top of the third inning, 1-0, getting a run on a single. So now due up for the Tom Sox here in the bottom of the third, Gian DeCastro, Elijah Costin, and Jesus Cesari. Mason Tompkins still doing the work from the rubber for the Braves.
Gian DeCastro, the Sun Devil out of Arizona State, did not play in his first year of college, but according to Arizona State, Gian is a big left-handed bat with an advanced approach. He can handle playing third base with a good arm, and currently shows some really good gap power with the home run power coming in the near future. So a bright future ahead for Gian.
DeCastro still searching for his first hit as a Tom Sox, but does have an RBI he recorded in the game on Wednesday against Front Royal with a sacrifice fly.
Leading off for your Tom Sox, the third baseman.
Played solid defense at third base in both of his starts for the Tom Sox. Made a couple nice plays late in the game against Waynesboro and a couple nice plays on Wednesday against Front Royal. Now working against Tompkins here, the first pitch, and Gian takes down low.
From Weston, Florida, worked over to Tempe with Arizona State, and now here in Charlottesville.
Next pitch also down low.
Quite the journey Gian has had early on in his collegiate career.
2-0 count here. Tompkins ready, the next pitch. It's popped up, back out of play. For those listening to the broadcast, you may not be able to hear it, but up in the press box we can hear the support from his teammates in Spanish, namely J.D. Wolf, Jesus Cesari, and Adonis Velez. As he takes that one on the outside corner. And again, we've reiterated this a couple times about J.D. Wolf, but the Air Force Academy man, 13 years old, lived in Cuba, fluent in Spanish. As DeCastro takes on the outside corner for a strike.
He was already walking to first base, thought that it was going to be a base by balls.
So now a full count here to DeCastro. Swing and a miss. Tompkins gets his second punch out of the game. Now the first 7 batters of the game for the Tom Sox retired.
Not really a surprise when you talk about the pitcher that we have here in Mason Tompkins. Yet to have a blemish on his ERA.
Tompkins ready to work here against the two-way man from VCU, Elijah Costin. Costin loops that one back up the middle. Diving stab by the second baseman, but not in time. Pacheski, a sliding effort there and a nice job, but couldn't get it over to Campbell in time, and Elijah Costin works an infield single.
Finally the Tom Sox break through. Could that be the moment that opens up the bats for Charlottesville?
Number 1, Jesus Cesari.
Now Jesus Cesari now at the plate for Charlottesville.
Out of Maracay, Venezuela, way down in South America.
One of the more positive guys in the clubhouse, always a smile on his face. He takes the first pitch. Fun guy to get to know and to talk to. We met him at the Brazos Tacos meet and greet. We asked him what position he played, and he proceeded to say everywhere. So, kind of guy that you can fit anywhere in your squad as he takes the next pitch for a ball.
Just one hit on this early career with the Tom Sox in 27 games with Southeast Arkansas. 10 RBIs, 17 runs, and 18 hits. No home runs to his name yet.
4 walks on the year for Cesari. He takes that pitch, a called strike. 5'8", a smaller strike zone to hit for a pitcher like Tompkins, but good job there of finding the zone.
A guy like Tompkins will be able to find the zone on quite literally anybody.
Here's the 2-1 offering. That one also clips the zone. So now the count knotted up at 2-2.
Battle, Jesus. Let's go, babe.
Costin gets his lead off of first. Held close by Campbell. 2-2 from Tompkins. It's tapped foul over towards the Staunton dugout.
Cesari able to extend the count here, something that we haven't seen yet out of Mason Tompkins. A lot of quick at-bats for him.
So 2-2 once more. Battle between Tompkins and Cesari. Costin goes. Cesari flies that one into foul territory down the right side. Campbell flying back, but once again out of play.
The longer the at-bat goes, the more I like Cesari's chances. He's seeing more of what Tompkins is offering. He will find his pitch eventually.
Cesari, a scrappy hitter. Seen him work counts, work walks, late in games, early in games, whenever he's needed to this season for the Tom Sox. Next pitch, he just loops it towards third. Costin to second. Cesari hustling down the line, and there won't be a throw. Pfeiffer puts it in his pocket, so another infield single for the Tom Sox, and they've got things brewing here in the bottom of the third with Kyle Langley coming up in the top of the order, ready to do battle.
Yeah, Pfeiffer didn't know whether to throw it to second or throw it to first, and now it gave Cesari enough time to reach.
So Langley grounded out to second in his first at-bat. One of two Tom Sox players with a home run.
Not shy of swinging in his collegiate career either. 248 and 247 batting averages in his first 2 years of college. 77 hits combined.
Langley takes a first pitch strike. So Tompkins will gain the advantage in the count 0-1. Langley looking to knot this one up at 1. Here's the next pitch. That one's lined towards the gap in right center. And that's going to drop in for extra bases. Costin around third. Cesari hits the third base bag. He's digging for the plate. Throw to the plate is not in time. Jesus Cesari scores, and the Tom Sox take a 2-1 lead. They'll send Langley, pick up his helmet, and he'll be at third with a triple, a double depending on the scorebook. So we'll give him the triple, and a 2 RBI triple for Kyle Langley to give the Sox the lead, and the first run allowed by Mason Tompkins this year.
And we talked going into this inning, the Tom Sox had not been able to put their bat to ball and get it into promising space. Well, we've seen that now 3 times from the last 3 batters.
Now it's Hudson Luderman who offers out a breaking pitch in the dirt.
Langley now with 6 RBIs on the season so far.
Well, the adage of bloop and a blast was true in this inning. The 2 infield singles and then Langley the triple. Now Luderman skies that one back towards the Sox dugout, but it'll get out of play.
That foul ball was sponsored by First.
And to mention, the Tom Sox are now the first team to put a blemish on Mason Tompkins' resume this season.
Certainly an impressive inning for Charlottesville, and a good job by Langley to really take that breaking ball and just deposit it into right center. A couple more feet, and that one would have been looking at 3 runs on the scoreboard instead of 2.
2 will do for now.
So the next pitch from Tompkins is a line drive, caught at third base by Pfeiffer.
Looks like Pfeiffer came up a little bit on his ankle, but if he had had a clean landing, I think he may have had a chance of getting Langley as well.
Absolutely, Langley was off the bag, off the contact, and just nearly got back. So now it's Jackson Soroy. Soroy grounded out the short back in the first.
A little bit of time here. Soroy looking to do some more damage as the Tom Sox are down to their last out of this inning.
So the first pitch is at bat to Soroy. It's a fly ball, deep foul down the right field line, and once again out of play.
This is something that we weren't seeing much in the first 2 innings. The Tom Sox are now getting their bat to the ball after not even really hitting the ball, even foul in the first 2 innings.
Here's the 0-1, and Soroy can't connect.
He wanted all of that.
So now 0-2 the count to the UVA man, Jackson Soroy. Tompkins looking to end the inning here. Here's the pitch. Line drive towards second, but right to a jumping Pacheski, and that'll end the inning. But the Tom Sox, they take the lead for the first time in the ballgame off the back of a Kyle Langley 2 RBI triple. We'll be back with the 4th inning here from Charlottesville. Welcome back here from CHO Airport Field. Bradley Link done for the ball game. A new arm on the mound for the Tom Sox, Evan Allwine. But Landon, what was Bradley Link's final line for the day?
Bradley Link, 3 innings pitched with 2 hits, 1 run, which was earned, 4 walks, and 5 strikeouts. A pretty good day for Bradley Link, his best day as a Tom Sox so far. And the Tom Sox have a lead after 3, which is, in my opinion, a successful day for Bradley Link. This brings in Evan Allwine, the right-handed pitcher from Florida International, 6'5", 225, an imposing figure here on the mound. Suffered a season-ending injury after 1 game in 2025, but he is back now and ready to begin his season with the Tom Sox.
And a native of Altoona, Pennsylvania, really close to my home turf of State College, Pennsylvania. So some familiarity of myself and Allwine, even though I haven't seen him pitch yet, but excited to see him get the go here.
And he will first be up against Zach Pacheski, who struck out.
Pacheski pops that one up just over our heads of the press box and back into the forest behind us.
Yeah, Pacheski struck out in the 2nd inning, looking to right his wrongs here.
So Allwine ready to work with the lead, 2-1 here in the top of the 4th. Next pitch, he misses outside. Pacheski made that nice catch to end of the 3rd as he ready for the next pitch from Allwine that goes outside once more.
Just trying to find his groove here, throwing the fastball early, just trying to locate the zone. Yet again unable to.
Here's the 3-1 pitch, and up high, and Pacheski works a walk.
Yeah, not the start that Evan Allwine would want, but it is 1 runner. He'll face many more with the Tom Sox, and it's got to be a goldfish.
I love that. I love that. Is that a Ted Lasso reference?
It is a Ted Lasso reference. Great show.
I love that. Phenomenal show. So many lessons to be learned from watching Ted Lasso.
Be curious, not judgmental.
I also love the thought of just like such an American dude going over to Britain and coaching, a sport that is like the way we think of American football, that they think of soccer, and it's amazing to see that, kind of translated into a show. Runner goes, pitch from Allwine down low, throw not in time. So Pacheski steals a bag, and now a runner in scoring position here for Ryan Fluharty.
And we have seen more American coaches go over to Europe and coach. Jesse March coached Leeds United a couple years ago, unable to keep them in the Premier League, but he's got a job with the Canadian national team now.
You've seen some American even born players make some strides in Europe. I think Kristen Pulisic at Milanis. This one's grounded back up the middle, and it'll get through. Pacheski around third, coming to the plate. Throw cut off. The Braves will tie this one up at 2 here in the top of the 4th on an RBI single from Ryan Fluharty.
Yeah, not just Evan Allwine's struggles are continuing. Still trying to locate that zone, still trying to throw batters the wrong way, and just not able to yet. A guy that really has not pitched in a long time, considering he only appeared in 1 game for Florida International.
So now a runner on first is Fluharty. Cooper McDaniel at the plate, and Allwine misses outside.
You got it, babe.
Cooper McDaniel in his first bat flew out to right field.
All tied up at 2 here from CHO Airport Field at Charlottesville High School. Next pitch from Allwine is a high pop-up. Shallow right field. Luderman's out there. Bristow calls him off and makes the catch. So the first out recorded for Allwine there is a pop out to the right fielder in Jet Bristow.
For Stanton, the shortstop, number 9.
History repeats itself for Cooper McDaniel.
Had a hard hit fly out back in the 2nd inning, this time more of a pop out. As now Jackson Ingram digs in, struck out back in his first at-bat in the 2nd inning. Runner goes. Cesari's throw on a hop is in time. Jesus Cesari fires down and gets Ryan Fluharty stealing to clear the bases for the Sox.
Great play there from Cesari. That is what he does. We've seen him do that a couple times this season, and it is great to watch the way that ball uncorks off of his hands and into the glove of Luderman.
A great tag applied there at second base to get the out. Now Allwine working with the clean slate as this one is flied out to center field. Langley arranging back. He's got it, and he makes the catch. So 1 run scores for the Braves, but that is all. The Tom Sox will go to work looking to retake the lead here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Welcome back here to the broadcast of Charlottesville versus Staunton in the Valley Baseball League. This game all tied up at 2 apiece here in the bottom of the 4th. Due up for the Tom Sox, Patrick Nias, Jet Bristow, and Tanner Shadle.
Looking good for the Tom Sox so far. They escaped what started out to be a scary inning in Evan Allwine's first appearance on the bump. Able to get with the Cesari put out and then an easy fly out to Langley. Able to calmly get out of the inning.
And some rust is certainly expected from Allwine. Obviously hasn't pitched in a very long time, only the 1 appearance for Florida International this year. So you expect it, but he bounced back, fought nicely, and got out of that inning with minimal damage, and the game's still tied.
The first baseman, number 10, Patrick Nias.
Patrick Nias up now for the Tom Sox. A ground out earlier on to second base. Looking to replicate or not replicate that and get on base this time around.
Nias, the hero in the midweek game at Waynesboro, a bases clearing 3-run double in the late stages to give the Sox the lead. Cut into the lead, sorry. As Nias flies that one into left. Lazy fly ball, however, and Pack camps under it to make the catch.
Able to get his bat a little further out this time. Not quite far enough. Lincoln Pack easily makes the grab.
So now Jet Bristow at the dish for the Tom Sox. Bristow ground out to short in his first at-bat. His second, he pops that one up sky high, right behind home plate, and it gets out of play. Landon, put your hand out. That one almost was coming into the booth.
Just a reminder,
I really want my free sweet treat, Luke.
Listen, I think, having a freeze pop on the broadcast would just elevate, what we're able to do. I think you would be able to cool your, cool everything in your mouth. You'd be able to, relax, talk a little better. It's always nice to soothe your throat sometimes with broadcasting. That's why I always carry a bottle of water with me.
Energy would also be up, too, with the sugar rush.
1-1 now, the count. Bristow takes. That one just misses.
Bristow was put out earlier in this game, much to the similarity of Nias.
That one drops down low. So Bristow moves ahead, 2-1. Tompkins looking to work another good inning here. Here's the pitch. It's a high fly ball. Shallow right center. Right fielder Fluardi comes in and calls off McDaniel to make the catch. So 2 down now as Tanner Shadle steps up to the music of Fetty Wap.
After quite the contrary inning for Tompkins, he's right back to where he began, putting the batters of the Tom Sox in a position where they cannot get anything going on the offensive end.
First pitch to Shadle, a called strike.
Tompkins struck Shadle out in the second inning, looking to end this inning the same way.
Shadle swings through that pitch, so quickly behind 0-2. And Tompkins looking to pitch another spotless inning. Here's the next pitch. High and out. Shadle stays alive now with a 1-2 count. The 1-2. Fly ball back out of play over our heads.
Shadle, a proven winner, a 3-time state champ in high school.
Old Dominion ball player. Next pitch down low. Hailing from certainly close to the campus of Old Dominion in Virginia Beach. You ever been to Old Dominion's campus, Landon?
I have not.
Next pitch and outside. It's a cool. You drive through it and you're going through Norfolk, Virginia. It's a nice spot. The stadium's very cool. It's right there. You see all the buildings. It's intimidating, as you drive past it, but it is cool. It's a really cool campus. A 3-2 pitch. It's a line drive to short. Snow cone catch made by Ingram, and that retires the side. The Sox go 1-2-3 in the fourth. Another 1-2-3 inning for Mason Tompkins. This game still tied up at 2. We'll be back with the top of the fifth here in Charlottesville. Evan Allwine back out for another inning of work here at CHO Airport Field at Charlottesville High School. Allwine allowed a run in his last inning of work, but looking to keep this score knotted up here in the top of the fifth. Due up for the Braves will be Lincoln Pack, the left fielder, Wyatt Piper, the third baseman, and Aaron Jamison, the designated hitter.
Evan Allwine was able to get into his groove towards the end of that inning. looking to continue some success on the mound. Only 1 run allowed. This is a Staunton team that loves to get home and scoring. Only 2 runs through 4 innings.
So Allwine now ready on the mound. Pack into the batter's box. Cesari's mask is on, and we're ready to get going. Here's the first pitch. It's a fly ball, left center field. Langley moving over, and he's under it. A one-handed catch. So 1 down on 1 pitch from Evan Allwine here in the top of the 5th.
Exactly what he needs early on is a free out, basically.
So now Wyatt Pfeiffer stepping into the box. Here's the pitch. Pfeiffer tries to bunt, and that one hits off the screen. Foul. A little late on that decision to square and couldn't put it in play.
You can tell Pfeiffer was involved in that thumping against Covington. 13 runs in 6 games.
Here's the 0-1 from Allwine. That one up high. Take a look at the scoreboard around the league of contests happening today. Harrisonburg up on Culpeper in the second, 6-0. As takes a hack and the bat goes flying, the ball goes to the backstop, and wild sequence there.
4 little kids just put their life in danger, folks, standing right by that fence. I thought that was going to come crashing down on their heads. Good awareness from the youngins.
Some other scores around the league. Waynesboro and Covington delayed due to rain. The score, Covington ahead 5-2. Front Royal and Winchester knotted up at 0 in the 3rd. No score updates from Woodstock and Purcellville, or Strasburg and Newmarket as of right now. As we have a slight delay.
Getting a new bat, I presume.
Yeah, letting one fly out of your hands and out of play, probably not the best idea to reuse that one. Got some bad juju.
Well, as we wait, the count stays 1-2. So Allwine has definitely gotten into a rhythm here.
Yeah, he's looked a lot sharper here in the second inning of work, and it's certainly a good thing to see some arms looking sharp for the Tom Sox with the struggles the staff has had in the beginnings of games. So certainly an encouraging sign for your Tom Sox. Pfeiffer back in, Allwine ready on the slab. Here's the 1-2. Outside for ball 2. Allwine still working for the out from the delivery. Up high and outside, and the count runs full.
Potentially an announcer's jinx from us, as we were just talking about Allwine's success on the mound. He's now gone 2 balls in a row.
He just misses outside with his next pitch, and so he allows a walk to Wyatt Pfeiffer after being ahead 1-2.
Batting for Staunton, designated hitter number 18.
Not the worst thing to happen. 1 out already to the Braves' name.
So now Aaron Jamison steps into the batter's box for the Braves. Pfeiffer gets his lead off of first. Not too far as he's guarded closely by Nias. Here's the pitch. A little bit of speed on that one, but it goes down low, so the ball, and Jamison moves ahead 1-0.
Jamison early on in this game, a single RBI.
This one popped up back out of play.
Was sponsored by Taylor's Auto Body.
Some more action in the Tom Sox bullpen.
It's going to be Tristan Dietrich out of Florida International again. Also 6'5", so 6'5" prodigies love to come from Florida International.
And another PA native. Here's the next pitch from Allwine as a line drive shot into left field. Costin has to stay in front of it, and he'll do just that. Pfeiffer stops at second, runners at first and second now, and some danger for Evan Allwine.
Batting for Staunton, first baseman number 14, Wyatt Campbell.
Really needs a good at-bat here. If not a strikeout, then a line out or a fly out, but somebody needs to get out of this at-bat.
Wyatt Campbell at the dish. 0 for 1 today. Struck out back in the first. And walked in the third.
Hey, twist it. Ain't nobody hurt?
Allwine checks the runners. Now comes to the plate. Breaking ball clips the inside corner for a strike. 22 pitches for Allwine so far. Here's the next one. This one's tapped back up the middle. Glove by Soroy. Takes it himself. Fires on the first in time. A 6-3 double play for Jackson Soroy to get the Sox out of the inning. And now we'll turn it over to Landon Weaver to take over on play-by-play for the rest of this way. But after this short break, we'll be back with the bottom of the 5th inning.
Welcome back to the bottom of the 5th inning here from CHO Airport Field. I'm Landon Weaver. I'll be alongside Luke Stefanisco, and I'll be taking over play-by-play duties for the rest of tonight, the second half of this action-packed game. 2 apiece between the Tom Sox and the Braves, and Mason Tompkins still at the bump.
Well, I want to talk about the Tom Sox. I mean, we mentioned this on the On Deck podcast alongside Ben Rakosh, and the Sox have been really good fielding-wise today. I mean, you talk about the lone mistake from Jackson Soroy with the RBI single, but 2 double plays turned. That's something that's not, a typical thing you see with, collegiate teams and, teams in summer leagues. But a good job by the Tom Sox so far to, create the chances from their pitchers and then actually converting them by the fielders.
Apart from the second inning, the Tom Sox have been scoreless. Gian DeCastro takes the first pitch for a strike, 0-1 the count. The Arizona State Sun Devil looking for his first hit as a Tom Sox. Down and away for ball 1.
Yeah, Gian's made a lot of hard contact this season. Let's see if he can finally, find a gap or find a space where there's not a fielder.
The 1-1 from Tompkins. Swung on but fouled over the Staunton Braves dugout. 1-2. Tompkins with 2 strikeouts so far. A very, very clean game from him otherwise. As the 1-2 will move to 2-2. Deuce is running wild here in Charlottesville. Tompkins will deal. Swung on, popped up into left field. Pack looking at it, makes the catch. Gian DeCastro retired yet again, this one by flyout. Still in for his search of a Tom Sox hit.
He'll find it eventually. Baseball is a tough game. Sometimes you have cold streaks where you're not finding much hits. And, he's put the bat on the ball. Only struck out 3 times so far this season. Actually, 4 if you count his strikeout today. He's walked twice and made a lot of contact otherwise.
First pitch to Costin. Down in the strike zone. 0-1 is the count. Costin was the one to get the bats hot for the Tom Sox in that 4th inning. He started off with a single. The 0-1 from Tompkins. Swung on by Costin, but it will pop over to the parking lot.
That foul ball was
0-2.
First Heritage Mortgage.
Austin recorded his first hit of the season with that single earlier on this ball game. Has also pitched a few innings for the Tom Sox this year.
The 0-2 from Tompkins. Down and into the dirt for ball one.
Good block there by the catcher, Galuski.
Interesting that the Tom Sox were able to get going from the bottom of the order. I wonder if that will happen again as the 1-2 is coming from Tompkins. Swung on and hit by Costin. Foul territory, and it will go over the fence. The count remains 1-2.
Costin battling here, not really giving in. He's 2 solid at-bats today from him, maybe looking for his second hit of the season right here.
A battle with Tompkins means it seems that the hitter has a better chance of getting something going as that pitch is low and away for ball 2.
Certainly a good job by the Tom Sox to put any runs up on Tompkins. Obviously, you mentioned pitched a scoreless start against Waynesboro. Tom Sox put 2 on him today.
2-2. Swung on and fouled yet again by Elijah Costin. No change to the count. Still 1 out here for the Tom Sox. Score remains 2 apiece. The 2-2 again from Tompkins coming up. Costin looking to do some damage. Strike 3. Costin caught looking.
Yeah, good pitch there by Tompkins. Really slowed up his approach on the mound. Maybe got Costin a little bit out of sorts and just put it right on the corner. Beautiful pitch.
That brings up Big Papi. Jesus Cesari steps up to the plate. Singled in the 3rd inning. Looking to do some damage yet again. Had a big duel with Tompkins in that at-bat.
Found his way on via an infield single. Used his speed to his advantage.
Down in the dirt for ball 1.
And again, the small frame of Cesari may provide an advantage, especially with umpires, debating whether or not to call pitches a strike. 5'8", very short frame, and it's a little compact for umpires to find that strike zone.
The 1-0 from Tompkins. Right in the middle for strike 1.
And while he found the strike zone there, did Tompkins found the exact center, as it looked to be.
The Winthrop Eagle in his 5th inning of pitching in this game. We know he can go a long ways. The 1-1 hits Cesari, and he will make his way over to first base.
Cesari in pain a little bit.
Yeah, it looked like that one caught him just in the lower portion of his body.
Right on the thigh, and take a slow walk down to first base. The first base runner allowed since that 3rd inning for Mason Tompkins.
And in that 3rd inning, the Tom Sox were able to get 2 runs in. Will history repeat itself here with Cesari going to first? That brings up the top of the order, and Kyle Langley.
Well, the exact man who made those 2 runs go onto the scoreboard, and Kyle Langley.
The JMU Duke looking to yet again bring someone home as Cesari takes a little strider, trying to work his legs out. I don't blame him. That pitch got him hard.
Sox pretty thin on catching depth. Kagan Costa, team leader in batting average, the other catcher listed on the roster. Gian DeCastro has also taken some reps at catcher, but never in a live game. So if Cesari can't go, it'll be interesting to see what Coach Tomlin and co. decide to roll with at catcher.
Well, Cesari puts on his diving glove, which means that he is ready to go, and Langley steps up into the batter's box. 2 outs for the Tom Sox. Langley looking to do some damage here.
Got the better of Tompkins last time. We'll see what happens this at-bat.
The first pitch to Langley. He showed bunt, pulled away, and that'll go down as ball 1.
Good job by Langley there. And listen, with the speed at the top of the order that Langley has, it's not crazy to suggest, throwing one down. If you can drop it in the right spot, there's a base hit and get it up to your heavy hitters in Luderman and Soroy and Nias.
The 1-0. Swing and a miss from Kyle Langley. Evens the count at 1.
That isn't to say that Langley isn't a heavy hitter himself, with now another extra base hit added to his total with the home run already this season.
Tompkins will deal, trying to end the inning and keep the score tied. Cesari goes, but he'll have to return to first base as the ball was foul tipped behind the catcher by Kyle Langley.
Langley just got to fight to survive here. Tompkins going to try and put him away, but Langley just got to stave off some pitches, get the one you like, and, find a gap somewhere.
Langley really does like that right field area. We saw him hit a home run in that area. We saw him hit the 2-run RBI in that region as well.
Definitely a pull hitter. Interesting to see if teams will recognize that later on in the season, maybe implement some shifts, some outfield shifts even, if he continues to favor that right side of his hits.
For now, the defense stays the same. The count 1-2, 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. The pitch to Langley coming up from Tompkins. Swung on, but put into foul territory. Another kid will get a chance at a free concession.
And now that I'm not on play-by-play, I might be going to have to dive for some of those freezy pops, so.
Makes you a little jealous, doesn't it?
It does. Those kids get to enjoy, a frozen fruity pop, and I'm stuck up here calling a game.
Not the worst place to be.
Not the worst place.
The 1-2. High and above the zone for 2-2. Deuce is running wild here on the scoreboard.
A lot better than being Daniel Stein stuck outside the press box, having to deal with the bugs.
I do love my bug-free press box. The 2-2 from Tompkins. Langley extending this at bat. Cesare goes, and he will make it. And he goes to third. McDaniel thought about making the throw, decided to hold off, and Cesare steals 2 and gets himself 90 feet from the plate.
Yeah, good job of base running there, and now in a 3-2 count. Probably a good chance it's going to be a challenge pitch here from Tompkins, and if Langley puts the ball into play for a single, there you go, Cesare's 90 feet away.
Beautiful base running from Jesus Cesare. And his good day continues.
So now a payoff pitch here. Big time pitch.
The 3-2 from Tompkins with 2 outs on the board. Langley foul tips it behind Galuski. Count remains the same. 3-2.
Langley's fighting. Have a guy 90 feet away from scoring. Got to do anything you can to bring him in to give you the lead, especially in a game this tight.
Jesus Cesare, the go-ahead run at third. Langley trying to get him there. The 3-2 from Tompkins. Popped up into the air. It's going to go foul. Yet again, the count on this at-bat continues to rise for Tompkins.
Marathon at-bat almost.
3-2 still your count. 2 outs still on the board. Jesus Cesare still at third base. Langley looking to get him home here. The 3-2. Swung on and hit towards the Tom Sox bullpen. Foul yet again. Beginning to lose count of how many pitches have been thrown in this at-bat. I know we had an 11-pitch at-bat earlier, but this one seems to be rising.
We're approaching it again, I believe. This has been a long at-bat and a long battle between Tompkins and Langley.
This will be the 9th pitch of the at-bat. And Langley takes ball 4. Runners on the corners for the Tom Sox with 2 outs on the board.
And again, with the speed of Langley, Langley's stolen 22 bases over his collegiate career. You have to wonder if he's going to be in motion and maybe draw that throw from Galuski and potentially send Cesare home if the opportunity arises.
And now you bring up the Hokie, who is known to homer, Hudson Luderman, with the runners on the corners. The go-ahead run at third. 2 outs still on the board, and time is called as there is going to be a meeting on the mound. Some movement in the bullpen for the Staunton Braves.
Just getting loose out there. Nobody really throwing yet, so I don't think Stanton's going to make a change. This is, again, similar something we saw similarly with Chris Glaze, just a mound visit and a morale visit.
It's going to be Caden Takahashi Trader warming up in the bullpen, the 6-foot sophomore out of Longwood University.
pitched 1 inning this season, struck out the side in that inning, so certainly could make the move, but I don't think he's going to be coming in because he has not thrown any warm-up pitches.
Definitely something to keep an eye on. The Lancer will most likely make his mark today, but not yet, as Tompkins stays on with 2 outs in this inning, looking to retire the side with Luderman at bat. Luderman a chance to bring home the leading run in Jesus Cesari to make it 3-2. 2-2 is your score right now. The first pitch to Luderman coming up from Tompkins with Langley on first. Langley thought about going, tried not to. Count moves to 1-0.
I think they'll put Langley in motion. You know, it makes a lot of sense, especially with Cesari at third. You draw that throw. If it goes awry, you might have a base runner score easily.
The 1-0 coming up from Tompkins. Luderman checked the swing. Not before it found the zone. 1-1.
Langley's getting a big secondary lead over there at first. It's not necessarily a lead to steal, but a lead to be in motion if the ball's put in play.
Something for Tompkins to keep an eye on as he deals the 1-1 now. Luderman swings and hits it to the Staunton Braves dugout. Luckily, there's a fence there. It protected the players from getting their shins cut off. So the count moves to 1-2. Luderman down to his last strike.
It's Tompkins' 90th pitch of the ball game here.
An impressive stat for the Winthrop Eagle. The 1-2 swung on and hit to center field. Running back is Paszewski, and he makes the catch. That retires the side and sends us to the top of the 6th, still tied 2-2.
No hits, an error.
Welcome back to the broadcast. Evan Alwine still on the bump for the Tom Sox. The score is still tied at 2 apiece as we move into the top of the 6th. And Luke, what are you looking for as we head into crunch time in this game?
Well, it's got to be the pitching for Charlottesville. It's been, you know, their death and their success in the game that they've won and the games they've lost. So the staff needs a big morale booster. And I think the guys in the bullpen know what they have to do tonight. They have to pitch spotless. They have to be perfect. And I'm not saying you need to be perfect in terms of, you know, not allowing a hit, not allowing a run, but you have to execute when you need to execute. And that's what this bullpen and this pitching staff has to do, because the Tom Sox need a win, and they need a win tonight against one of the league's top teams to prove they can still hang it. The first couple games were just flukes.
This is something different that we haven't really seen from the Tom Sox this season, only using 2 pitchers so far as we head into the 6th inning. Normally, we see 4 or 5 pitchers used for Charlottesville, but not tonight.
For Staunton, the catcher, number 10, Ty Galuski.
Yeah, well, Alwine gonna have to work another inning here, and it'd be huge for him to give some guys again, rest has been key for this bullpen. We need some guys to get rest, and Alwine could really help with that in another inning here.
Up for the Braves is Ty Galuski. Ball 1 as that ball sails above Jesus Cesari. Galuski so far today singled in the 2nd and then caused a double play in the 3rd. The 2-0 swung on and popped up to deep right field. Bristow coming to get it, and he snags it. Calm, cool, and collected for the first out.
Good Good job there by Allwine. You watch Galuski in his motion, a big leg kick. He thought he was going to send that ball into the trees in right field, but got way under him, and a good job by Bristow to make the catch.
The night sky, a little deceiving there for Ty Galuski. That ball did not travel as far as he thought it was going to, and as far as I thought it was going to. I thought Bristow would have to make a little bit more of a difficult catch. As that
sounded good off the bat, I'll tell you that.
That brings up Zach Pachewski, who takes the first ball, and it will be a ball. The 1-0, high and above the strike zone for ball 2. Allwine still yet to find his groove. A very inconsistent outing from him so far. An even mix of balls and strikes. Swing and a miss from Pachewski. There's the first strike of this at bat. Allwine is on the board.
Cesare just letting that one fall right into his glove. Very Cliff Lee-esque, if you've seen Cliff Lee before.
The 2-1 is smacked into center field. Back at the wall goes Bristow, and he will make the catch. That one had some pop to it, but not enough before Jet streaked across the field to make the catch.
A little bit of a gasp from the crowd thinking that might be some trouble, but you saw the eyes of Bristow and Langley following it all the way. They knew it wasn't going to leave the yard, and they got it there. No harm, no hurt. But to go back to Cliff Lee, I just want to, nonchalant, as the kids would say these days, is how I describe Cliff Lee's fielding.
Jesus Cesare definitely fits that role as he brings the first one in for a ball. 2 outs for the Braves here in the top of the 6th, looking to finally break the deadlock. The 1-0 popped behind Jesus Cesare, and that would have been right to you, Luke.
Yeah, I would have had my hand up if there wasn't a fence in front of me.
1-1 is the count for Allwine. 2 outs on the board. We've been tied since the top of the 4th. Strike 1. Allwine finds the zone. Strike 2. First called of this at bat. Allwine 1 strike away from retiring the side. He deals high and above for ball 2. Deuces running wild here on the scoreboard. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 apiece for the sides. The 2-2 almost catches Fluharty. Count runs full. Allwine about to deal the payoff pitch to Ryan Fluharty. Here it is. Swing and a miss. Allwine retires the side. 1-2-3. And the score remains 2-2. Back on the broadcast and back on the mound is Mason Tompkins. He stays with the Braves, and he will continue pitching. He has so far had a great game, Luke.
Yeah, they're letting him roll, and I mean, I don't blame it. You saw the situation the Tom Sox have been with their pitching staff, and when you got a guy rolling like Tompkins is, I don't think you take him out. He's been very solid. 2 runs allowed, but still has been in control most of this ball game. I think it's the right move to let him keep pitching.
Yeah, he hasn't let any runs in since the blemish put on him in the bottom of the 3rd. 4 scoreless innings other than that, and he'll look to put up another one, as did the Tom Sox in the top of the 6th. The score remaining 2-2. We've been deadlocked since the top of the 4th.
And to be quite honest, he's really only allowed 1 hard hit ball that had actually gone for a hit. Talk about that double, the triple from Kyle Langley. But the first two hits that inning, Elijah Costin and Jesus Cesare, 2 infield singles. So it's not been that bad of a ball game for Mason Tompkins.
Up to bat now for the Tom Sox is Jackson Soroy, as he takes strike 1 called. Just feeling out what Tompkins has to deal for him. The 0-1 pop foul towards the Staunton Braves dugout. 0-2. 0-2 on the day for Jackson Soroy, looking to get on base for the first time. Tompkins dealing the 0-2. He lines it towards the shortstop, who makes the throw to first, and he got him. Ingram to Campbell for out 1.
That is a really tough play. The ball kind of died just in front of the second base bag. Ingram had to come up strong, firing as soon as he got it, and he did, and just beat Soroy by a step or 2.
That brings up Patrick Nias, who, like Soroy, is 0 for 2 on the day and looking for his first hit of the day. Tompkins will likely reach 100+ pitches thrown this inning. His first to Nias' pop foul back behind him for an 0-1 count.
Already nearing the mid-90s, the 94th pitch of the ball game for Tompkins right there.
Really has some serious arm endurance, the Winthrop Eagle. The 0-1 from Mason. Swung on and missed by Patrick Nias. 0-2 now the count. Tompkins looking for yet another strikeout. He will deal the 0-2. Popped up by Patrick Nias. That will go foul. Count stays 0-2. Bottom of the 6th here. Score still Charlottesville 2, Staunton 2. 2 strikes to Nias. That one is into the dirt for ball 1. Nias finally gets on the board against Tompkins. We're now reaching the high 90s.
97 pitches to be exact.
An A+. Tompkins, the 1-2, swung on and popped into left field. That one's going to drop for a base hit. Nias rounds first, decides to go to second, and he will get there. Standing double for Patrick Nias.
Well, that's the second hard hit that Tompkins has allowed all day, and not one a hanger. He's lucky that that ball did not go over the left field fence. Nias just got a little bit too on top of it, still hit it hard, so it got over the head of the left fielder Pack, and now he's in scoring position here.
Good way to start the bottom of the 6th for the Tom Sox. Jet Bristow up to bat now. 1 out on the board. A runner in scoring position, and Patrick Nias. Bristow takes a shot in the neck, and he will trot his way to first base. Wow, that one has some serious heat on it, but he came up okay.
Yeah, well, Tompkins now at 99 pitches, and we'll see if he'll make it to the century mark or if that'll be all she wrote.
You see a coach jogging over to the bullpen for the Braves. Looks like they're going to have somebody step in for him soon as Galuski visits his pitcher on the mound.
But it may not be until the end of this inning as Galuski just heads back to the plate and no movement from the coaching staff of the Braves.
So, a runner on first and Jet Bristow, a runner in second and Patrick Nias. And that brings up Tanner Shadle to the batter's box to the 0-0. Swung on and popped to left field. Pack is running back. Can't make the grab. Nias rounds third. He's heading home. Here comes Bristow. He's going to get there. 2 runs will score for the Tom Sox. 4-2. They lead. A 2-run RBI double for Tanner Shadle. What a way to get his first hit of the game.
Well, how an outing can change in just a matter of about 4 pitches. You have the double for Nias, the hit by pitch of Bristow, and then Shadle, the first pitch of his at-bat, and he blasts that one over the head of Pack into left field. And now on the 100th pitch of the game, Mason Tompkins in line for the loss, and now time called as it might be a pitching change for the Braves.
It is seemingly looking to be that way. And if I'm not mistaken, on the 100th pitch of Tompkins' night, he lets in a 2-run RBI double.
You are correct, Lennon. The exact 100th pitch of the night for Mason Tompkins is a 2 RBI double now. If this score were to stay the same, he would be in line for the loss. He will not get a decision no matter what the outcome of this game is.
And some Tom Sox fans sending their kind regards to Mason Tompkins as he exits the field.
Is this Charlottesville or Philadelphia, Landon?
Can't tell. Cannot tell.
Hard to tell. We start him young in Charlottesville.
So, a new pitcher will enter the game for the Staunton Braves.
And it is Caden Takahashi Trader. As we already mentioned, warming up earlier in the game. 1 inning pitch this season, struck out the side in that inning of work. He'll be in to face Gian DeCastro.
The Longwood Lancer from Yorktown, Virginia, went to Tabb High School. Over the course of the season for Longwood, he pitched 3 strikeouts against Virginia Military Institute. The Keydets not able to find their rhythm against Caden Takahashi Trader. In his season with Longwood, he appeared in 11 games, started 1, went 0-1, pitched 9 innings, an ERA of 17, 8 strikeouts, 18 walks, and 17 earned runs. A batting average against of .281. He will look to do a little bit better here in the Valley Baseball League, as he has already.
And his pitching staff's been one of the bright spots for the Braves so far this season. A lot of guys, ERAs either below 2 or even triple zeros on the ERA. So they've been a big part of the start of this season for Braves and the reason why they are 5-1 in the Valley Baseball League so far this season.
You know, wearing the number 23, you got to wonder, will he have that clutch gene in him? A certain man in Chicago certainly did, donning that number.
There's a lot of famous 23s throughout history.
Indeed, indeed. I can think of quite a few, but they're not coming to the top of my head at the moment.
Yeah, no, it's tough, especially to think of with baseball-wise, 23s, but basketball, a couple guys jump to your mind immediately.
Football, Cooper DeJean.
Oh,
Fans would like to give a big shout
absolutely.
out to tonight's
20, is he 23 or 32?
He's 32.
Oh, okay.
He's still clutch. I'll give a shout out to Cooper DeJean. Super Bowl champion, by the way, should have been the Super Bowl MVP.
Great pick 6 to really open the game up in that Super Bowl, much to the dismay of Chiefs fans across the nation.
The entire country was celebrating that night, except for Missouri. I guess Kansas. Kansas City's close.
The great states of Kansas and Missouri. So, Caden Takahashi Trader comes into this game with the Braves down 4-2, 1 out on the board, and Tanner Shadle in scoring position at second base. Up next to bat for the Tom Sox is Gian DeCastro, who is certainly due for something positive in his early Tom Sox career.
We did not give the final line for Mason Tompkins, so we'll do that now. 5 1/3 innings pitched, 5 hits, 4 runs, all earned, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts.
Quite a day for him. Even though the end of it, if you have recency bias, it wasn't great, but early on in that game, he really kept the Tom Sox at bay.
Absolutely, and 2 rough innings were the crutches and the struggles of his start. Other than that, other 3 innings, he was phenomenal.
DeCastro steps up to the batter's box. First to hit against Caden Takahashi Trader. His first pitch swung on by Gian DeCastro, who hits off of the backstop pole and back to Trader. 0-1.
He would have caught that. What would the ruling have been? Is that that been considered an out?
I believe it would have just remained foul. I've seen it hit off of the batter's cage before, and no one makes an attempt to grab it, but would have been a cool trick shot.
That's not banana ball.
The 0-1. Down and away for ball 1. It is indeed not banana ball. You can do some crazy stuff down there in Savannah, Georgia.
I think the VBL should allow if a child younger than 10 catches the ball, it's an out. Would be an intriguing addition to the rule book.
We would have so many outs.
I don't know.
The 1-1 from Caden. Checked by Gian as he watched it sail into the strike zone for 1-2. score remains 4-2 after a 2-run RBI double by Shadle to send Bristow and Nias home. The 1-2 from KTH. Popped into center field by Gian DeCastro. He doesn't make it to first in time. Campbell able to catch Ingram's throw. So Gian DeCastro close to getting his first hit. A line drive towards second base, but not able to get there in time. It's the second out of the inning for the Tom Sox.
The young Tom Sox fans rooting behind Elijah Costin here right behind the plate, and see if that can spur him on.
2 outs for the Tom Sox. Costin at the plate. Trader will deal. Strike 1 for Elijah Costin. He decided not to swing, just wanted to see what Takahashi Trader had to offer.
On a good note for Gian DeCastro, he was the first batter to not strike out against Takahashi Trader this season. Positive to take away from it.
The 0-1. High and away for ball 1. Yeah, the first blemish on Takahashi Trader's record.
Isn't really even a blemish.
No, it's not. It is not. But you got to take the little wins if you're Gian DeCastro at this point. The 1-1, 2 outs on the board for the Tom Sox. Costin watches it sail, curving into the zone for a strike. 1-2, the count. Costin is down to his last strike. Takahashi Trader dealing here, looking to end the inning after being subbed in for Tompkins. Costin takes that one as ball 2 sails by him. Deuce is running wild here in the bottom of the 6th. The 2-2 from Trader coming up in just a second. Outside for ball 3. Full count now. Costin getting his money's worth in this first at-bat against the new pitcher. Costin looking to trade in a pitch for a hit, as Takahashi Trader will deal. The 3-2. Swung on and hit to Ingram. He's thrown over to Campbell, and he makes the grab. Gets it, Costin out at first, and that'll send us to the top of the 7th. Tom Sox leading 4-2.
2 runs, 2 hits.
Welcome back to Charlottesville as we enter the top of the 7th. It's really beginning to get to crunch time here for the Tom Sox and the Braves. A 4-2 game. It's close here in Charlottesville, and Luke Allwine still at the mound.
Yeah, he's shook off that rust that we saw in his first inning of work, and he's been solid for the Tom Sox thus far. And this is key for what Charlottesville, they haven't had the longevity of their pitchers to go multiple innings and have success in all those innings, but that's been the case today. I mean, Bradley Link, a solid start, and Allwine has just continued that momentum on the bump for the Tom Sox.
He'll look to keep that momentum here as he first faces off against Cooper McDaniels, who has flown out to right field at his last 2 at-bats. Swing and a miss here in his first pitch seen in the 7th inning. 0-1 the count. J.D. Wolf now in left field for the Tom Sox.
Elijah Costin will have the rest of the night off.
From the Air Force Academy.
Put up a good night. Costin did.
First hit of the ball game for the Sox.
Really got them going. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. 1-2 now the count. Allwine getting ahead early. Bit of a smaller frame there out in left field. Popped up into center field, shallow center field, and Luderman able to make an easy grab for out 1. So Cooper McDaniel has flown out in each of his first 3 at-bats tonight. Bad luck there for number 15.
Yeah, 0 for 3 on the day, all by way of the fly-out or pop-out. Tough break.
Here's Jackson Ingram, the shortstop. The first pitch to him is down the middle for a strike. Allwine really finding his groove now. Throwing with some confidence.
It's exactly what Tom Sox needed.
The 0-1 from Evan becomes 0-2. Second strike in a row, and Ingram hasn't even tried.
He's got that breaking ball working.
Allwine looking to go 3 for 3. Unable to, but the ball is pop foul. Count stays 0-2. The 0-2 from Allwine becomes 1-2. Just a little low there. Into Cesari's glove. Looking to retire Ingram. The 1-2. Swing! No swing. Caught looking. Strike 3 there from Evan Allwine becomes the second out of the inning for the Tom Sox. He's making quick work of the Braves.
Landon, your brain saying swing there is what exactly Jackson Ingram wanted to do, but that pitch was so disgusting, his brain didn't do it either.
Guess you could say we're on the same wavelength, as that brings up Lincoln Pack. His first at-bat not facing his teammate.
Just waved at that first pitch.
The 0-1. He waves at that one again. Bye-bye. First strike. They called that one a ball.
Yes, that one missed.
Just barely. 1-1 the count. 2 outs on the board for the Braves. That one down the middle. That one's a strike. 1-2 the count now.
And no arguing that pitch. That one right in the zone.
Absolutely not. Evan Allwine is dealing and wheeling in this inning. The 1-2. Cracked to Soroy. He throws the first. Got him out. Nias able to make a sweet grab to send the Braves packing to the 7th inning stretch. 4-2 is still your score. Tom Sox lead. All stretched out and ready to go for the bottom of the 7th. The Tom Sox batting with a lead for the second time tonight. They were up 2-1 early in the bottom of the 3rd. Now up 4-2 here in the bottom of the 7th. Caden Takahashi Trader still at the bump for the Braves, looking to make quick work of the Tom Sox and send the Braves on offense to the top of the 8th, but we'll have to go through at least 3 batters first to see if he's able to do just that.
The Tom Sox would love to score some more insurance here. They haven't exactly been the best team pitching-wise as of late in late ball games, but
Number 1, Jesus.
you know, they could rewrite that narrative tonight with some of the guys in the back end of that bullpen. There's looking to be some movement out in the bullpen, but
Jesus Cesare will be up to bat first, the bottom of the order for the Tom Sox. He's gotten on base twice tonight, one by way of a single, the other by way of a hit by pitch.
that's what Jesus does. He finds a way to get on base.
Very gritty player. The first pitch to him is down and into the dirt for ball 1.
Again, the average might not jump off the page when it comes to Jesus Cesare, but again, he's a guy that'll find his way on base no matter the cost, no matter the toll.
The 1-0 to Jesus. Down and not into the dirt, but pretty close for ball 2. Jesus, a guy that got some good reps at Southeast Arkansas College, 27 games and a .367 batting average, looking to replicate some of the same success here in Charlottesville, a long way from home. The 2-0 from Trader. Jesus steps away and takes ball 3. We love to see him do that, a little bit of Big Papi Ortiz style down in the batter's box.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus has had that swagger. You go back to the game against Waynesboro where he let the pitcher know that pitch he took for ball 4 was in fact the ball.
A little bit of Dikembe Mutombo finger wagging going on. The 3-0 from Cesare. Let's see what he does here. He steps away for strike 1.
Yeah, that one was going to be called a strike any day. Even if Jesus didn't like it, stepping out of the box on the 3-0 count, you're going to get the pitch called a strike.
So Trader gets on the board for 3-1 being the count here. High and away for ball 4. Cesare is on base for a 3rd time today. 1 for 1.
Batting for your Tom
1 hit by
Sox, the
pitch,
center fielder, number
1 bases
14,
by
Kyle
balls.
Langley.
You got to love it. Playing with some swagger, having some fun out there. That's exactly what this Tom Sox team needs, to just let loose and just have fun.
The Tom Sox 1-4 so far this season. Not quite the start that they would want, but it is a long season, 42 total games. And up now, the top of the order is Kyle Langley. The first pitch to him is far away from the strike zone for ball 1. Langley able to bring home a 2-run RBI triple in the 3rd inning. And that is all that he has done today other than getting on base by walks. The 1-0 to Langley from Trader. Popped over into the parking lot. Count evens at 1. Langley is one of 3 players from James Madison University on this squad. The Dukes making their presence known in this early on season for the Tom Sox. The 1-1. Langley shows bunt. Cesare will go to second. And in time, he makes it. A stolen bag for Jesus Cesare. That's not his first today. He had one earlier today. So he gets himself into scoring position, and the count moves to 2-1.
That's a great job by Cesare. He knew if he drew the back pick, he was far off the bag, that if he could read it in time, he'd get the second, and he did just that. Read the back pick coming to first. Throw was a little down low. Campbell couldn't scoop it clearly, and Cesare sliding in time at second.
Such a smart player is Jesus Cesare. 2-1 the count to Langley. He checks, and the ball finds his bat, but not before it goes foul.
It's a perfect way to describe what just happened there. The ball found his bat, not the other way around, and he just kind of punched it into shallow, just in front of the Braves dugout, I guess you could say. And yeah, strike called.
So that makes the count 2-2. Takahashi Trader will deal to Kyle Langley. And that one takes him on the leg. Langley will walk his way to first base. Another hit by pitch for the Tom Sox.
Batting for your Tom Sox.
And that brings up big bat Hudson Luderman. 0 for 3 on the day. 2 flyouts to second base and a line out to third.
I think it's safe to say that Hudson's due for some kind of contact. That line out back in the third inning was a rough one. A really good job over at third base by Pfeiffer to haul it in.
Luderman getting some instruction from third base coach Randy Tomlin.
And we'll see what the move could be here to lay one down and just move the runners over to second and third, but we'll see if that's what Coach Tomlin wants Hudson Luderman to do. Is two bat in the lineup is a good spot for runs, so maybe he'll just tell him to swing away.
Definitely free reign here for the Tom Sox. No outs, 2 runners on base, a runner in scoring position, and one of your guys that can really lay one down, as now we get time from the other team. A mound meeting for the Staunton Braves, and definitely some movement in the dugout. We are going to get a pitching substitution soon, if not now.
I believe it might be. It's hard to tell. There's some, walking towards the field from the dugout in the bullpen, and that'll be the end of the day for Caden Takahashi Trader. We'll have a new arm on the mound for Staunton.
Still waiting to see who exactly it is for. It's going to be Matthew LeFavors out of Radford University, a sophomore from Hickory High School. Played 20 games for the Highlanders, started 6, a 1-3 record, 41 innings pitched in his freshman year, an 8.93 ERA, however. 26 strikeouts, 17 bases by balls, 41 earned runs, and 41 innings. Is not a great number. And a batting average against of 3.58. But so far in the Valley Baseball League, he's played 1 game, 2 innings, and 1 strikeout. So pretty efficient in Summer League.
And we'll get the final line for Caden Takahashi Trader very shortly.
Takahashi Trader didn't quite have the success that he would want. No runs for him, but definitely left LeFavors with a little bit of work to do, as Cesari and Langley are both on base.
Okay, so the final line for Caden Takahashi Trader, 2/3 of an inning pitched with 1 walk, no hits, no runs, no strikeouts, but we'll have to hold on the runs because it's in the finalized line, but once the runners may come across to score, we'll get you the finalized run scored. He is responsible for both men on first and second, Langley and Cesari.
Now I'm going to give you a little bit of trivia here, Luke. There is a Hickory High School graduate who played kicker for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Ryan Suckup.
Ryan Suckup is a Hickory High School graduate, as is Rick Barnes, head coach of the Tennessee Volunteers basketball team. Quite some success he had there, and also at Clemson way back in the 80s and the 90s.
I wouldn't have known that question, but I did. I looked through the notes, so you're just checking that I make sure that I I prepare for broadcasts.
It's an open notes quiz.
It is an open notes quiz.
In honor of Teacher Appreciation Night here at CHO Airport Field.
Oh, there you go.
LeFavors will deal to Luderman. 0-0 the count. No outs for the Tom Sox. 4-2 your score here in Charlottesville. Luderman shows bunt. The first pitch is high for ball 1.
This could just be a cat and mouse game to try and get a pitch he might like up in the zone, a fastball, but maybe it is a true bunt situation for the Tom Sox. We'll see how it pans out.
Luderman ahead in the count early, 1-0. With Cesari in scoring position, Langley on first. He shows bunt again. That one right down the middle. For strike 1, LeFavors gets on the board.
Luderman on the year, batting .272. 1 homer and 2 RBIs so far for the campaign.
Not bad. Definitely wants it to be a little bit higher. We know how big of a bat he can be. The 1-1 from LeFavors. Shows bunt again. Connects, but it goes foul. Not far enough for our home plate umpire to put it in play. 1-2 the count. Luderman falling behind.
So now you have to imagine that Luderman's going to swing away here.
That would be the case. We know what can happen when he does decide to put his bat to the ball. The 1-2 from Lefevre's, looking to retire his first at-bat of the day and get the first out. Luderman swings and puts it into play in left field. Cesari is coming home. Langley will hold up at third base, almost decided to go, but the Tom Sox will extend their lead to 3 on a one-run RBI double from the Hokie, Hudson Luderman. 5-2 your score.
Langley put the brakes on late. He was coming around third. I thought he was going to break for home, but he put the brakes on. Nearly slipped getting back into the bag at third, but a huge at-bat there from Luderman to give the Tom Sox some extra insurance. And I want to say anything and put a broadcaster's curse, but Tom Sox looking like a different ball club today.
They are. The hits are definitely piling up for the Tom Sox, as are the base running abilities, definitely improved from the first 5 games of the season. That brings up Jackson Soroy. No outs yet to the Tom Sox name. Runners on third and second. Soroy hits one down the first base line. That will send Langley home. Here comes Luderman. He scores as well, and Soroy a standing double and a 2-run RBI.
That's going to go in the scorebook as a double, but most any other situation, that is probably a harmless ground out to first, but Campbell was shaded a little bit too far left of the first base bag to get there and make that play, and it just kind of rolled into shallow right, and Soroy never stopped at first. And now a 5-run lead for the Tom Sox.
So that will make the score 7-2. Tom Sox leading here in the bottom of the 7th. That's 3 runs put on the Braves in the bottom of the 7th. Very, very positive ball playing from Charlottesville, and that brings up Jet Bristow. Patrick Nias, my apologies. Soroy in scoring position on second base. No outs. Nias takes strike 1.
Those keeping score at home, Caden Takahashi Trader will officially charge those 2 earned runs. Have crossed the plate.
The 0-1 towards Nias. Inside the zone for strike 2. 0-2 the count. No outs on the board yet. 7-2 your score here at CHO Airport Field. 5 unanswered runs for the Tom Sox. The 0-2 from Lefevre's. Swing and a miss from Nias, and that sends him packing. And the first out of the inning, and for Lefevre's.
Man, really good bounce back there for Lefevre's to get an out, and still in some danger with Soroy leading off of second, but now he's got to deal with another UVA man in Jet Bristow.
The Cavaliers are definitely swinging their swords tonight. Lefevre's faces off against Bristow for the first time, and he, like Nias, takes strike 1. 1 out for the Tom Sox, and Lefevre's moves ahead in the count early. 0-1. Bristow readying the pitch as Lefevre's keeps an eye on Jackson Soroy. He runs to third and will be tagged and called out. Much to the dismay of the Charlottesville fans in dugout, Soroy jogs his way back to the Tom Sox dugout. 2 outs on the board, 1-1 the count, even for Bristow.
Certainly a close call. Thought Soroy had his arm in there, kind of swam, moved the tag, but third base umpire disagrees.
Good throw from Galuski as Bristow goes around, couldn't quite hold himself accounted for, and 1-2 is now the count. Down to his last strike is Jet Bristow. The 1-2 popped up into shallow right field, and it drops for a base hit. Jet Bristow able to make his way to first. Campbell not able to get there in time. Fluharty realized that it was dropping too late. And that brings up Tanner Shadle, who last time out had a 2-run RBI double to put the Tom Sox ahead. And since then, the Tom Sox have piled it on the Braves. Down to their last out, Tanner Shadle steps up with a runner on first and Jet Bristow. The first pitch from LeFevers to Shadle is down and away for ball 1.
Some score updates from around the NCAA regionals. Florida State drops 1 to Oregon State 5-4. North Carolina beats Arizona 18-2. Louisville defeats Miami 8-1, and Auburn out over Coastal Carolina 1-0 in the second inning.
The 1-0 popped up into the air, and that one will sail towards the batted cage for a foul ball. 1-1 the count. As our home plate umpire asks for 4 balls from the Tom Sox dugout. The 1-1 towards Shadle. LeFevers looking to retire the side. Swung on and popped up into the infield. Second baseman Pacheski comes and grabs it and retires the Tom Sox as we head into the top of the 8th. Charlottesville leads 7-2. Welcome back to CHO Airport Field as we go into the top of the 8th. Tom Sox lead 7-2, and there's a new player on the bump for the Tom Sox, Luke.
Well, we'll roll with the final line for Evan Allwine for the day. 4 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 run that was earned, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. So a very solid Tom Sox debut, and if this score was to remain the same, he'd be in line to pick up the win. So we'll see how things shake out here in the 8th and the 9th.
And in now for the Tom Sox is Tristan Dietrich from Florida International, a junior, 6'5", 194 pounds, out of Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. How close is that to State College? Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. How close is that to State College?
Oh, that's closer to Philadelphia.
Okay. Not sure about my Pennsylvania geography. Tristan Dietrich so far has not appeared for the Tom Sox, but he does play with Evan Allwine and Adonis Velez. Drafted in the 18th round out of high school by the Miami Marlins, but decided to play in college and try and better himself before he heads on to the pros. We will see what he has to offer here in this top of the 8th inning, something that has lived in infamy for the Tom Sox as of midweek. Against the Front Royal Cardinals, the Tom Sox went into the top of the 8th leading and instead walked 8 batters, letting 7 runs in and throwing away their lead. The first pitch from Dietrich moves to 1-0.
Actually, I'm making that sound more outrageous than it is. It was 8 runs on no hits.
8 runs, yeah, that does put quite the blemish onto the bullpen. As the 1-0 from Dietrich is being dealt, swung on and hit towards right field, and it's going to drop foul. Cooper McDaniel, oh, my apologies, Wyatt Pfeiffer unable to connect, just a bit off, and that really would have maybe sent him for a double if it had landed in play. 1-1 now the count. 7-2 your score from CHO Airport Field. The 1-1 is high and away for ball 2. 2-1 now the count. Dietrich towards Pfeiffer. Wyatt Pfeiffer looking to get on base for a third time today. Count moves to 3-1. Twice he's been led on base by balls. One time was fouled out or flew out to left field. Swung on and hit. That one's going back to the wall. Bristow's there and he makes the grab. A good catch as Pfeiffer thought that he had an ability to circle the bags, but not so fast at Jet as he soared into the sky to make the catch.
Yeah, and some of the young Tom Sox fans letting Pfeiffer know that he's got some warning track pop, I believe, in their words.
Indeed, they were letting him hear it, as that brings up Aaron Jamison. So far today, Jamison a single, which turned into an RBI, and then another single in the 5th inning. The first pitch to him is low and for ball 1. The Braves really need to start getting their bat to balls here. The 1-0 is hitting Jamison, and he will take a walk. Some Tom Sox fans asking if he's okay. Dietrich hits Jamison and sends him to first base.
And nearly scary there, that one.
Yeah.
Kind of got inside of the elbow guard and defensive Jamison, but he just kind of took it off the chest, and he seems to be okay.
That brings up Wyatt Campbell, the man from the horse capital of the world, as we harped on it earlier today. Largest equestrian complex in the United States, folks. Ocala, Florida. Be sure to visit.
Will you be visiting there?
No.
Fair enough.
Maybe. Actually, that resounding no has turned into a maybe. Because why not? Why not?
Go see the sights. Go ride a horse.
The 0-0. In for strike 1. Dietrich finds the zone. And some other research I was doing, a lot of the horses there are related to Secretariat.
That's cool. That's really cool.
The GOAT of horse racing competition.
Still holds the records in the Triple Crown races.
The 0-1 turns into 1-1. That pitch down and away. Not sure if you are familiar or have been to Randolph-Macon College, which is just in Ashland, Virginia, but they have a Secretariat statue there, which is pretty life-size and pretty astounding. The 1-1 from Dietrich, popped foul by Campbell.
I mean, it's impressive to consider that Secretariat holds the record for the Triple Crown races, even though training and methods and things for horses have improved over the past 40 years. It still holds the record.
Secretariat's reign, which was really in the 70s, and now we're in the big 2025, and he's still standing long after he is gone. The 1-2 from Dietrich to Wyatt Campbell with 1 out on the board for the Braves. Did he go? Yes, he did. That's a strikeout for Wyatt Campbell. And Dietrich is getting his way early on in his campaign.
Wonder if Campbell was thinking about Secretariat when he swung there. You never know. From Ocala.
Yeah.
Got a connection to some horses.
Horses on the mind. Horse brain.
That's probably right.
So 2 outs for the Staunton Braves. The Tom Sox already bettering themselves from the top of the 8th from the other night. Dietrich's first pitch is inside for ball 1.
That's some really good movement. Galuski backed out thinking it was going to hit him, and it nearly caught the inside corner.
Galuski transferring to Eastern Tennessee State University this upcoming season. Previously at Fort Scott Community College. Faces a 1-0 count as the Braves are down to their last out in the 8th inning. Dietrich will deal to Galuski. Down and away for ball 2. Galuski gets ahead early in the count. 7-2 though, still the score here at CHO Airport Field. Tom Sox lead by 5. The 2-0 from Dietrich. Swung on and popped to Luderman, who gets it to Soroy and throws the first. Able to get the out, and that'll retire the Braves in the top of the 8th. a successful top of the 8th for the Tom Sox, something that Charlottesville fans will love to hear. 7-2 your score. Tom Sox leading, going on offense. Fresh blood out on the mound for the Braves. Frank Papeo making his first Valley League appearance for the Staunton Braves out of Rider University and Old Bridge High School, where he won a conference championship. He played 7 games with Rider, 2 starts, an 0-1 record, 9.1 innings pitched, a 24.11 ERA with 10 strikeouts, 14 bases by balls, and 25 earned runs against, including a .364 batting average against him. Not quite the stats that you would want, but maybe Summer League is where he turns the tide.
The final line for Ryan Lefevre's: 1 inning pitched, 3 hits, 1 run that was earned, 0 walks, and a strikeout.
Not quite the night that Matthew Lefevre's would want, but nonetheless, the Braves are still in a position where they could make a comeback. Down 5, they'll be on offense in the top of the 9th, but the Tom Sox are looking to put some insurance runs in here.
Wouldn't hurt to add a few more. Andrew Manley pinch hitting for the Tom Sox here, relieving Gian DeCastro.
Gian DeCastro unable to get his bat to ball today, but certainly waiting for the day that he does, because that ball will certainly fly. Andrew Manley pinch hitting, the man from Wofford, 6 foot, 195-pound sophomore. In his debut for the Tom Sox, he started batting average. He went 1 for 4, including 1 run, 1 hit, 2 strikeouts. So a reliable hitter, somebody that the Tom Sox will want a fresh look, but the only thing is, you're getting a fresh look at the mound too.
Your Tom Sox from Wofford, number 40, Andrew Manley.
Frank Papeo to deal against Andrew Manley.
2 guys making their season debut for their sides.
Manley looking to do something here as the Tom Sox fans continue to throw shade on the Staunton Braves.
Yeah, Papeo's hearing it, and now an early conversation here between Papeo and Galuski.
Manley looking to take advantage of Papeo's lack of reps here in the Valley Baseball League and maybe get on the board himself. 7-2 your score here in Charlottesville. Bottom of the 8th is where we are at. The Tom Sox looking to put some insurance runs on the board. The first pitch from Papeo to Manley is in the zone for strike 1. 0-1 the count for Manley. The Wofford Terrier. The 0-1 towards him. Finds the zone for 0-2 early on. Papeo is wheeling and dealing.
Yeah, good thing for Staunton. They need to really not allow any insurance here for the Tom Sox. And 0-2 count for Papeo is a good start.
Manley finds himself in an early hole. The 0-2 from Papeo is taken by Manley. Caught looking for strike 3, and that's the first out of this inning. Papeo able to get on the board.
Fans, not many left at the ballpark, but being as vocal as they can are the young Tom Sox fans.
The young Tom Sox fans, I mean, their bedtime's got to be soon. It is 9:45 here. Maybe they're just a little rowdy, maybe tired.
I gotta be honest, and I haven't seen their parents. Maybe they're here on their own accord.
True that. We do reside by some neighborhoods, walking distance to the field, as Papeo's first pitch to Wolf is in for ball 1. J.D. Wolf, the Air Force Academy man, pops one foul to even the count at 1-1. As I see a fan putting up their umbrella. Maybe a little bit of rain coming back. Frank Papeo dealing the 1-1 to Wolf. Down and away for ball 2. J.D. Wolf moving ahead in the count. J.D. Wolf has a big black Labrador that we've seen running around the field as he takes ball 3. Love to see dogs around the park, though.
Absolutely. When's the Bark at the Park night for the Tom Sox?
It's coming up. It's coming up. We'll have to check on that in a second as the 3-1.
I'll be leaving the broadcast to go pet some dogs.
Indeed. Or maybe we bring a dog up to the broadcast. The 3-1. Does not find the zone. It will be ball 4 for number 4. J.D. Wolf takes his walk to first base.
Hear me out, Landon. Let's get a dog on the broadcast.
That's what I'm saying. You know, they speak a language that everybody can understand. Ruff, 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 ruff.
There you go.
And
again, the Tom Sox fans making noise.
Jesus Cesari, Big Papi coming up to the plate.
1 for 1 today. Hit by a pitch and worked a walk in his other at-bats.
Sunday, June 22nd is Bark in the Park Day. Fans, be sure to be there. As the first pitch to Cesari, just a bit outside for Papeo. 1-0 the count. Do you have a dog, Luke?
I do not. My mother is unfortunately allergic, so it pains me, but I always enjoy seeing dogs.
Dogs are a lovely joy to have. The 1-0 swung on by Cesari, but pop foul. The count will even at 1-1.
I did have a rabbit when I was a kid. That was the exception for whatever reason.
Interesting. I used to have to pet sit my neighbor's rabbit. Let's just say that when they get out of their cage, they are a hassle to get back in. Spent at least 20 minutes trying to get it back in. 1-1. Swung on and popped into right field by Cesari. J.D. Wolf will round second. He's going to third. Cesari has the second. Wolf is going to stay at third, and Cesari will stay at second as he throws up a John Morant celebration and is in scoring position for the Tom Sox.
Jesus taking, as you mentioned, some inspiration from John Morant, a celebration that the NBA wouldn't like, but it's acceptable here in the VBL, and he's having fun out there, like we said, playing the game loose. You got to love it from Jesus.
That brings up Braden Weaver, pinch hitting for Kyle Langley, as his song goes, Dream Weaver, quite an homage to his last name. As a fellow Weaver, I quite enjoy it as well.
Oh, it's a great song. As a non-Weaver, I also enjoy it.
Braden Weaver, the Liberty man, has runners in scoring position with Cesari on second and Wolf on third. The first pitch to Braden Weaver is high and above for ball 1. 1 out to the Tom Sox name, but they have a chance to really pile on here.
Weaver, another Tom Sox, still in search of his first hit on the season.
The 1-0 to Weaver. Swing and a miss. He was dreaming of a home run there. Took a big chunk at that ball. Unable to find it. 1-1 the count.
2 runners on the pond here. Base hit. Wouldn't hurt to have that on your stat line with 2 RBIs.
The 1-1 from Papeo to Weaver. Swing and a miss again. Weaver really swinging for glory here. 1-2 the count. At this point in the inning and where the runners are, it seems like it's a good idea to be greedy.
Yeah, I mean, you want insurance runs. You got to be advantageous and take any chance you get. So trying to attack early on in the count.
Weaver has fallen behind here. Wolf takes a step forward. The 1-2 fouled off by Braden Weaver. Hudson Luderman will go chase the ball down and give it back to the Tom Sox dugout. The 1-2 coming up to Weaver. This at bat beginning to extend for Papeo with 1 out on the board for the Tom Sox. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Oh, it's Weaver's going to go to first. Wolf will score.
Drop third strike there. Galuski couldn't corral the pitch from Papeo, and run scores for the Tom Sox.
So Weaver, even though he swung, the pitch was dropped by Galuski, sending J.D. Wolf home and moving Cesare into third. Runners on the corners for the Tom Sox with Hudson Luderman up to bat.
And now Luderman going to have a chance to give some more insurance here. Runners on the corners.
One out towards the Tom Sox. Luderman up to bat. He takes the first pitch, and that's a ball. 1-0. Cesare beginning to lead a little bit. He is really itching to get to home plate. The 1-0. Inside for strike one. Luderman just looking to see what Papeo is offering. I believe in the next couple of swings, or next couple of pitches, we'll see a Luderman swing. Luderman a one-run RBI, single last inning, looking to recreate history. High and away for ball two. Count moves to 2-1. Tom Sox now lead 8-2 after J.D. Wolf found home off a drop third pitch, third strike, sending Weaver to first.
The Tom Sox bats having one of their best days of the season.
The 2-1. Just a bit outside for ball three. Upstairs for ball three. 3-1 now the count. Luderman in a favorable position. Expecting swing here.
And you say the driver's seat for Hudson Luderman right here.
He's got his hands on the wheel, a.k.a. the bat. 3-1. Swung on and pop foul. Count moves to full.
Now going to get a payoff pitch on 3-2. May see Weaver in motion at first base to try and avoid the double play.
The 3-2 coming from Papeo. Runners on the corners for the Sox. Luderman swings and pops that ball up into the air. Ingram has eyes on it, and he's got it in his glove. Runners stay where they are. 2 outs for the Tom Sox.
Batting for your Tom Sox, shortstop number 18, Jackson Soroy.
Jackson Soroy now up to bat. A 2-run RBI double in his last at bat. Looking to do much of the same.
Yeah, double in the scorebook, but you know, to the eyes, it was a looping ground ball down the first base line that had eyes and found the outfield.
The first pitch to him. Soroy pops that one deep into left center field, back at the wall, and a catch is made by McDaniel. Soroy had me up off my feet, thought that one was going to sail over the fence, but it did not. And the Tom Sox will lead 2 on the bags, scoring 1, making the score 8-2 as they can close it out here in the top of the ninth.
Score now is
Welcome back to CHO Airport Field for the top of the ninth. The Tom Sox have a chance to get their first home win of the season as they lead 8-2 over the Staunton Braves. The South leading Staunton Braves, I may add, which the Tom Sox have really held at bay today.
Yeah, and now Trevor Booten on the mound to try and go for not the save to end the game here. This is not a safe spot with the lead for the Tom Sox growing to 6. So Booten just trying to close this one out. Relatively low leverage compared to what he went through in Waynesboro on Tuesday.
Booten already a good start to the Tom Sox season. He's looking to extend that great start. Velez now at second base. Taking out another Tom Sox, Hudson Luderman, who is at second base. So the Tom Sox really looking to close this one out. We've seen them have some struggles late in the game in holding leads and letting runners on bases by walks and then walking runs in. Tonight seems like a different story for them, however. And with Booten at the bump and knowing what he has done so far, the man from Auburn, after getting a win in his first game, will he be able to send the Tom Sox out of here with a W? 8-2 your score. Booten takes the mound. Zach Pachewski at bat. The first pitch to him is a strike. 0-1 the count for Booten. A man who went undefeated in his senior year of high school, pitching a 2.17 ERA with 117 strikeouts. The second pitch to Pachewski is fouled off.
That's an absurd stat line. I mean, 13-0, 117 strikeouts in high school is incredible. Can't forget to mention it's his second year in Charlottesville.
The 0-2 can't find the zone, and that moves to 1-2.
He's on the hunt for his second Valley League championship ring.
Zach Pachewski trying to keep the Braves' hopes and dreams alive here. 1-2 for Booten. A little sidearm action here. Down and into the dirt for 2-2. Booten, although he is from Auburn, has not pitched in either of his first 2 seasons there.
Yeah, Auburn, you mentioned, playing currently right now in a super regional game.
The 2-2 from Booten. Popped into play, but they're going to call that one foul as our home plate umpire deems it. 2-2, the count stays.
Yeah, kind of weird contact there from
Zach Pachewski.
Yeah, Pachewski, and it is a foul ball, but I really believe it hit off maybe the foot of Pachewski before it came out into play. So
2-2, still the count for Trevor Booten, pitching to Zach Pachewski. Is this the payoff pitch for him? Yes, it is. Strike 3 is called. Pachewski went down looking, and the Tom Sox are 1 to the good here in the top of the 9th. As some Justin Timberlake comes on, fittingly, to send Pachewski back to the dugout.
And we have 2 outs away till the Tom Sox can secure their first win at home this season.
What a win that would be. The first pitch to Fluharty. Can't find the zone and will be going down as ball 1.
Be a huge maybe momentum changer for the season for the Tom Sox to pick up this win here today.
The 1-0. Can't find the zone yet again. Ball 2. Trevor Booten wheeling and dealing here in the top of the 9th. The 2-0 from him towards Ryan Fluharty, the man from USC Upstate. Away and goes down as ball 3.
Deep breath all the way back.
So Booten, after quite a phenomenal first at bat, is having an underwhelming second here. He finds himself 3-0 down in the count. The 3-0 pitch to Fluharty. Gets in the zone for strike 1. Booten on the board.
Stanton's only loss coming to the Sunday opponent of the Tom Sox, the Winchester Royals.
The 3-1 from Booten. Hits Fluharty in the back, and he will take first base as he throws his gear quite violently towards the Staunton Braves dugout. Maybe a little bit of frustration there from the upstate man.
That the worst thing for Trevor Booten. I mean, that's kind of obvious, but you'd rather give up a hit by pitch than hard contact or a home run. So now with the runner on first, you have a chance to roll into a double play to end this one.
Cooper McDaniel steps up to bat. The center fielder has flown out in each of his first 3 at-bats. The first pitch to him, popped up into right field. That one's going to land for a base hit. Fluharty will go to second, and McDaniels will make his way to first. My apologies. Bristow not able to get there in
Batting for
time.
Staunton, the shortstop, number 9.
Placed
Jackson
into a
Ingram.
perfect spot there by Cooper McDaniel. And that will bring up Jackson Ingram.
And now Booton dealing with some trouble. 2 base runners here. Again, 1 ground ball could end it.
The first pitch from Jackson Ingram from Trevor Booton is just a bit outside there for ball 1. Booton trying to get his right-handed batters to reach a little bit.
Breath, ain't nobody better. Let's go, Booton.
Booton will deal the 1-0. Jackson Ingram, 2 strikeouts and a flyout today. That one way inside, almost hitting Ingram. Moves the count to 2-0. Booton really looking to get on the board here and get a second out. A walk would chalk the bases full, and that is not something you want in any scenario. The 2-0 from Booton. Swung on and popped into almost making a double play. Soroy almost got it back over to second baseman
Batting for Staunton,
Hudson Luderman.
5, Lincoln Pack.
Actually, Adonis Velez.
Velez. A late substitution for the Tom Sox. But 2 outs to their name. Still 2 runners on base for the Braves. Brings up Lincoln Pack. Booton dealing the 0-0. Wild almost. Just a bit outside there for the 1-0 count. Booton 1 out away from retiring the Staunton Braves and giving the Tom Sox their first home win of this early Summer League season. The 1-0 from Trevor as he takes a look and deals the 1-0 inside for ball 2.
And the Tom Sox faithful, the youngsters, certainly getting louder as this ball game nears its conclusion.
It has gone over 10 p.m. They will be going right to bed when they get home.
It isn't a school night, though.
True. 2-0 the count. 2 outs on the board. Booton finds the zone for strike 1. Fluharty in scoring position on second base. Cooper McDaniel on first. Lincoln Pack up to bat. The 2-1 from Booton. Popped towards Soroy. He throws it over to Shadle for the out. Nias able to catch at first base, and that will end the game. 8-2, the final score. And Tom Sox able to get their first home win of the season. They will move to 2-4. The Staunton Braves move to 5-2. The Tom Sox take down number 1 in the South Division, and Luke, they did it with their bats.
Absolutely, the bats were huge, but you got to give a shout out to the pitching staff. I mean, from what this pitching staff has been through the first 5 games of the season, I mean, you know, shortage of arms, guys that struggled early on to the year, and look at today, I mean, 4 guys that pitched phenomenally. I mean, you start out with Bradley Link, who's had his certain share of struggles. 3 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 run, 1 earned, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts. The winning pitcher of the game, Evan Allwine, 4 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 run, that 1 earned, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Tristan Dietrich, 1 inning, no hits, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. And then Trevor Booton shutting down the game for the Tom Sox. So what a job by the pitching staff, and you can't discount the hitters either, who also had some great games. I mean, Kyle Langley, Hudson Luderman, Jackson Soroy all knocking in some RBIs, Jesus Cesari reaching base in every one of his at-bats today. So it was really a team effort today and a huge step in the right direction for the Sox.
So now you got to think this is a huge confidence booster for the Sox. They moved to 2-4, 1 win away, 1 win at home. They now they're back at home tomorrow at 4 p.m. against Waynesboro, and then they're away at Winchester, a long car drive for them on Sunday. Then they get a little off day before they return in the midweek to Culpeper. The Tom Sox have a bit of a favorable schedule, and they can really start making a run now. I think they've got their groove. They're playing some more consistent ball, and it's really looking exciting there out on the field.
Absolutely, and this season is just so young, and the Tom Sox are just starting to find their stride. This is a big deal for Charlottesville, and this win is certainly going to push them in the right direction.
Well, the Tom Sox will take it 8 runs to 2, defeating the Staunton Braves And that'll be all from CHO Airport Field. I'm Landon Weaver alongside Luke Stefanisco, and that'll be all from Charlottesville. Good night.